Hello.
What's up, my friend?
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Great. How was Italy?
No, I went to Germany and Austria right after Burning Con, which was
Right.
amazing. And now I'm getting ready to go to Argentina.
Oh my God. And were you jumping out of planes?
I am. Well, I haven't since 2021, but I'll be jumping next year into Normandy. So
Yes.
pretty
Do you have to kind of get in shape for that? Like ankles and knees and stuff like that, or
You
it's
know,
just light?
you certainly can. Oh, he started his Zoom. Let me just tell him to join mine.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. So you can, I would say, certainly hurt your ankles and knees, but if you land properly, you're more likely to hurt your back. Believe it or
Oh,
not, because you're supposed to just crumple. You're not supposed to try to land like if you were jumping off a box or something.
oh, okay, okay.
It's
Yeah,
like jumping off the roof of your house.
okay.
So
That's
if
Oh,
you
pretty
talking
nice.
about
land,
you're talking about parachutes. That's
yeah, if you,
that was your specialty, is that right?
yeah, I was in the 82nd,
Right.
so
Yeah. That's pretty
did a
cool.
lot of, and I'm still jumping too. So I'm getting ready to jump into Normandy for the 80th. Um, but I was telling Sanjeev that when you land, you don't land like you're jumping off a chair or something because you can't absorb that kind of fall with your ankles and knees. So you
Yeah.
have to let your body kind of crumple.
Hmm.
So if you do it right, you don't really have any shock to your ankles and knees. The shock comes to your back because
Wow.
you're trying to like land like if you're
Right.
drifting this way, you want to turn like that and kind of crumple and land on your back, and your legs should flip over your body
Right.
if the momentum goes right.
Right. To spend up some of the momentum. That's really interesting. It's the exact opposite of what we're shown in all those superhero movies where people come down hard on the earth and in fighting
Oh
poses.
yeah, no. There are people who were really lightweight who can do what's called a standing landing. It's something you'll absolutely get bitched at if you do in the army, but there are some people who weigh so little and the chute's going slow enough and there are tricks you can play, dangerous tricks. You can pull on the chute and release it right before you land and create kind of a popping effect, but
Right.
it's so dangerous.
The army
And
just wants you to
that
play
guy
it
like
safe.
me,
Yeah.
it's not an option.
Yeah. It's really interesting. Sorry, I wasn't. For some reason, I've not been getting texts very readily. I was taking my dogs for a last minute walk, and I got here at exactly 6 and started up the Zoom. But you guys had already made other plans, which is just fine. Unless there's some reason you want to use mine instead, I'm perfectly happy for it to be yours.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's no big deal. I already, paid
Yeah,
for it
yeah.
for my company. So yeah, not a
Oh,
big
okay, so
deal.
you have a paid subscription. There's no reason we shouldn't just be
Yeah,
using yours. Let's just use yours then. I think that's a good plan.
perfect.
And I'm sorry I haven't settled the server question. I promised I was going to do this on Wednesday, and then other things came up, and I totally did not do it. So
You know
uh,
what, dude? We're all working adults. We're all so busy.
yeah,
It's
it's
no
amazing
big
how little
deal,
time I
man.
have.
I get it.
Yeah,
I suspect today is more about like making sure everybody's sheet is working,
yep,
getting maybe some initial tests in,
yep.
fleshing out, how the party works together. Um, I
Oh
was
Yeah, I think
no,
that.
come on, man. I thought we were like
Well, let's see if
stabbing
we can have a real
people.
session. I mean, there's so much value in being able to do the end of session things every time because it gives you a chance to think about what are we doing, how are we are we using our traits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Uh, So, if we can get enough moves in that it's justified to do an end of session, that would be my preference also. I did make I updated my sort of running log with everybody's current bits.
Cool.
We don't have beliefs for everybody. I think Tim needs to put in beliefs. Your beliefs look great, Sanj.
Thanks,
Sanj,
man.
Sanj, I should say, Russ.
Sanj, whatever.
What do you usually say? I keep saying it. I keep changing how I'm pronouncing it, and then being unhappy with myself.
My friends call me Sanj.
Oh, okay, Sanj. Okay, great. All right.
So
great.
So
that's what I've been naturally saying, but I just wanted to make sure it was. I mean, it's not as it's not the way that the name would normally be said in it would be
Gujarati or Hindi. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's I guess pronounced Sanj, but I like it Sanj. So.
Okay, great. All right, that's how I've been saying it, so I'll just keep with that. But I love the beliefs you've written down. Look great. I thought it was a great collection.
Thank you, sir. I'm one of those. Last time I played Burning Wheel, I'm just one of those like really. I just like I was annoying Mike. My DM was getting annoyed with me because I kept on changing my beliefs and like rejigging them and making them just perfect.
I think that's what you're supposed to do every session, right? You're supposed to sort of be tuning them to the occasion in a way. Yeah, at least that's the way
I think the most important thing is to make sure each belief is actionable for that session.
Yeah.
So you can confirm. It's easy for the GM to say, oh, you definitely accomplished that.
Right.
Right. The way I do it, and it's not an IEEE standard or anything, but the way I do it is I write the main overarching belief as sentence 1. I write the midterm, what goal that I'm going to go for, sentence 2, and the actionable goal, what I'm going to do the very next adventure, is sentence 3. So my beliefs each compose 3 sentences.
Yeah, that's good. That's pretty much what I see here. And some of them don't have the ideal, like the ideal part, like the ideology or the beliefy part. Like I think like my freedom from the harem of Raja Jadukar was hard fought. If you want to talk about the ideology of that belief, it's like, I will be a slave to no more. I will never be a slave, but freedom is so dear to me, right?
Right.
But I kept it a little more concise. I will never be controlled by another man. I will expand my business throughout the Norfolk quarter. And then anyway, I'll wait for everybody to jump in so that we can do that together. Yeah, man,
Eric,
I love this
welcome.
jam.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
He's not hearing us.
Can you hear us?
Setting it all up.
Check 1, 2. Your balls are blue.
So, guys, I want to share a screen, something cool here. This is.
Oh, let me make sure you can share. I always hate that I can't set up auto sharing, but now go ahead. You should be able to share.
Okay. How do I do that? Yeah, share screen. And then just look at this. Isn't that sick?
It hasn't come through yet. Must be a slow. Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow. That looks great.
Isn't that I had this commissioned for a scene in one of my my last campaign, or like so this is I was the GM. Isn't that just so it's like I have the original. It's pen.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an artist. Is that somebody
this?
Is that somebody you commissioned over the internet or
Yeah, it's guy named Jantif Illustration. And yeah, he's just so good. I I met him, like, I just started following him from, like, his, you know, like, RPG and metal art,
Mhm.
and then I recently got it, so I was
Oh yeah.
that's why I'm
What
excited.
is the kind of range he would charge you for that? Because I've had famous artists commissions, and I've been terribly disappointed. It's like their work is so amazing, but when you commission them, they rush through it, and
This was
I don't
th
know.
this was $400 for,
Oh, that's great, dude.
yeah,
I
400
paid $500 to a famous artist, and what he gave me was so disappointing, man. It was like he just rushed it out, you know.
Yeah, like, this was $400 for 8.5 by 11, like, right to the edge, and then I have it framed. And then he did another one of Strahd killing this dragon, and the PC casting flame strike on the vampire, which was a little bit more because it was 11 by 17, but it was $500, and she has that now. The player has it.
Super reasonable, man. That's
Yeah,
very reasonable. That's a
yeah. I
lot of
mean,
effort to draw that level of detail.
that's the nice thing about being an adult and having adult art players in your group and having a campaign for 3 years. Like, literally, I bought one book, the $50 player's handbook for 5e. That's how I got back into RPGs after many, like, after I stopped playing Burning Wheel in like 2010,
Oh wow.
or something like that. Just because life got busy and you know, whatever. And then just at the pandemic, or before the pandemic, people were like, "Hey, I heard you're a dungeon master."
Yeah.
So yeah, so I got Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, and Curse of Strahd for like $150, and
Wow.
it you know, it lasted for 3 whole years of play. So
I
you
might
know,
have to reach out to that artist, man. He does such good work, and that's my price range. I'm willing to pay $400 or $500 for a great piece of art like that.
yeah, and he's super nice. He lives all the way up in Australia, so the what's it called is a bit harsh, but um, you know, the freight. But it was like I got it FedEx ground for about $60. Um,
Yeah, shipping from Australia and for some reason Canada. You guys, your post is terrible, man. So expensive.
yes, yes, it is.
Can you guys hear me at all? Oh,
Yeah,
Yes,
totally.
you can now.
okay. Okay, cool. All right.
I just assumed you were being you know, less
Well,
talkative than usual, Eric.
that's true. I mean, I was.
So I
All
was
right.
On
So I think we should well,
could-
I know Tim is gonna be here soon, but I think the first steps are maybe how the characters met, how you guys all came together.
I think we worked that out last time. I kind of, to my mind, the thing I was most concerned about was that I don't know if it looked like Sanj and I have 3 beliefs, and we might talk about what we've been doing, but with an eye to helping Eric come up with 2 more beliefs, unless you've already done that.
No, yeah. I was gonna kind of look to you guys. Can you hear me? I've got my headphone microphone in front of me. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
I can hear you
Hey,
great.
you're coming in really low, Eric.
Okay, here. Let me adjust it. Because I've got you guys coming through my speakers, but my voice coming through that microphone because that's the only way it's gonna work. But
So what I had in terms of, because I'm Peter, I don't mean to undermine your idea here. We did write some stuff down last time about how we met, that Atessa and Vina are already close. What was the connection between Atessa and Vina?
Vina is a drug dealer.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
And
I do remember that.
yeah, Vina is like smuggling drugs into Lankhmar, and is and both of them have a little gig where they're selling it to rich nobles at their parties.
That's right.
And then I think like with Eric, there was there was a comment that I use I forget Eric your character's name again.
Nico.
Nico. I use Nico's tunnel wise and below wise or whatever to get past the gates and avoid paying taxes and customs and whatnot, the levy that they would, or the shakedown for bringing in these banned substances. And I don't know, maybe they're not banned. Like it's not like it's not Canada. It's not like it's not a modern. It's not modern, right? So I think maybe they didn't give a shit about opium back in the days, or they didn't care about what kind of drugs were brought into the city. And maybe like that's one thing I didn't understand that well about the smuggler life path. Like, yeah, basically I don't want to pay duties on it, right?
Right.
Like
Well, I mean, it's
don't-
possible you could. So there's no reason why we can't say, if it makes the story interesting, that the current rulers of Lankhmar have an absolute ban on opium or on poppy juice, and so there's this smuggling network
Tension.
that's sprung up to supply it. It's also possible they just have high tariffs on certain items from certain cities because they're in a trade war with such and such a place, and you're trying to avoid the tariffs. I don't know which of those is more interesting, but my
I
money
think
on the
I
illegal.
think
It can be like a shifting thing too.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's fine that it's not, if it's legal or not legal. Like they don't even the blind eye to whatever is happening, but it's more like it's bad for business. I don't want to pay taxes. I don't want to have like 10% of my cargo, that goes to the city guard, like all that. This is just a better deal for me to work through Nico and travel through. It's funny. It's like the character kind of like, when I was thinking about her and the fact that she's a smuggler, and I kind of picture smugglers as they're enterprisers, right? Like they're running a little business, right? Or trying
yeah.
to, at least.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and that's kind of why I jig that belief to be about, like, imagine just getting rich as a smuggler.
Right.
Yeah, which
Well,
is pretty,
Sanj,
You had to
in
use
real
your
life, you kind of do
narco
it legally,
sub.
right?
yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna be doing the Indian accent for this character, so
You had to use your narco sub.
the funny one would be Weena Wiper.
There you go.
She
So
is
what we
Weena
had then
Wiper.
was that Atessa had brought news of an upcoming wedding of a Lankhmar noblewoman to a beautiful nobleman from faraway Ilek and he said to be remarkably beautiful. And we and the two of them had cooked up this plan where you were going to either kidnap the bridegroom or steal the wedding gift, or maybe both. I think it's mostly about stealing a box. It says he brings with him a box whispered to contain something of great value.
Yes.
And so at the moment, we know, I mean, this is the way we wrote it up, Peter. You can tell us that there are problems with this, but we wrote up that Vina brought in Nico, and Nico's connections on the docks have helped pinpoint the inbound vessel, its expected date of arrival, and other vital details. So, we could be playing through those circles checks, or you could just be throwing us in because we want to get into the action. You could just say yes to all that, and we've got that. Up to you. And
I
then
think let's get in as many tests as possible.
Okay, sounds good. And then at the last moment, concerned about how well the vessel might be guarded, the group brought in Frida, who's somebody who drinks at the local bar and has a less sort of close relationship with the rest of them, is the way I've written it up.
Nice.
Perfect. Sounds good to me. I'm going to take a bio break. Hopefully, Tim will be here momentarily.
Okay.
Give him 10 or 20 minutes. I'm sure he did say he was stuck in traffic, but
yeah. No, this was sort of expected. The backup time was 7 o'clock, so this is not
no problem. Perfect.
I think Tim would be fine with it just jumping right, like getting going, and then
Also
he'll
possible. Yeah.
yeah, because we like Burning Wheel. You don't always we're not all like always at the
Yeah.
same
Well,
table.
let's look at our beliefs. I have these. I don't know if it's helpful to me to share my screen or just actually these are. I could put this in the shared document. That way you guys can look at it also. There's the darn Google Doc.
I'm really excited for I'm so excited for Pete having written an adventure for us, you know?
Yeah, I'm really excited about that too.
I kind of like I know in Burning Wheel you don't necessarily need to do that. You roll with the punches with the players, but I also love it when a DM has a strong vision,
Yeah,
or a GM has a strong vision and he comes to the game with
absolutely
something,
or at least like like strong pillars for us to kind of bump into.
sorry.
So if you open that Burning Lankhmar campaign log that I shared with you a while back, I can send you the link again. At the bottom of that, underneath, there's the heist described about halfway down the first page. And then beneath that, I've just pasted in the bits for everybody as we've got them so far.
Cool.
I can't figure out how to add a page break. So at the moment, the page break's in a terrible location. But do you want to read your beliefs, Sanj, for Vina?
Sure. Magic is a power, and magic is a power, and though dangerous, I will probe my gift further to strengthen myself and my companions. I will go to the Grand Library and research what it is. I will go to the Grand Library and research. Period. Okay.
Nice.
I'm working with the accent. I'm trying right now. That sounded
just
like
roll with it. You're doing great.
that sounded like Expanse. You know that woman in Expanse.
Yeah.
My freedom from the harem of Raja Jadugar was hard fought. I will never be controlled by another man. I will expand my business throughout the noble quarter.
Nice.
Atessa's new job sounds intriguing, but I am sure that the Thieves Guild will have a bead on the mark as well. I will see what Jarell can reveal about their plans. Jarell is my lover who is in the Thieves Guild.
Oh,
it's a relationship.
Nice.
I made it a 5-point relationship, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So here are mine. I'd like to be able to do some kind of Germanic accent. I'm not sure I'm going to do that. We'll see how it works. I am the match of any man, and I'll prove it in the dives of Lankhmar as I did while serving in the militia of the Lord Mayor of Clegnar.
Cool.
And I carry the blood of Stormer Wolfkin in my veins. By toppling the towers of the mighty, I will earn the appellation Stormbringer.
Cool.
And though I'm far from the prettiest woman in our group, I will turn the head of the princeling when we rob or kidnap him. That's something I just wrote up for today's session. I just thought it would be fun to, because Fafhrd and the Grey Mouse are always turning the heads of the young women that they interact with. So I figure I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to turn the heads of the young men.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
What's the first one about? Can you repeat the first one?
I am the match of any man, and I'll prove it in the dives of Lankhmar, just as I did while serving in the militia of the Lord Mayor of Clegnar.
Cool.
Hey, by the way, I think it's Clegnar.
Oh,
Kalelgnar.
Thank you. That's exactly the kind of weird spelling. It took me for a long time, the longest time, to realize that how the continent Newan is spelled.
I only know this because I made all my Linux servers after cities in Newan. So
yeah, great to know. So those are my things.
Instincts. Yeah, do yours and I'll do mine. Instincts and traits. Yeah.
Okay, so I've never trust a grinning man. Draw my sword at the first sign of danger. And those are my only two instincts. I'm missing an instinct. I don't have
Cool.
three.
That's fine. That and traits.
And what I have, so let me ask you a quick question here, Peter. You told us that we could add some traits that characterized us as, you said about two traits to characterize us as our people, what our people are like. Is that right?
Two or three character traits.
Okay, well, that's quite generous. So,
not die or call on, just character
no,
traits.
no, absolutely. Just your character traits. So I thought I would put down tall and redheaded as character traits that have to do with being from the cold waste. But I also wanted
love it.
Well, I also wanted one that was a personality trait. And I was trying to think about like I don't think that they're fatalistic up there. I think Fawford shows that there's something like the opposite of fatalistic. Maybe opportunists, maybe cheerful would be good. I'm not quite sure, but I'm open to suggestions.
Yeah, I would say think of a trait that can get you in a lot of trouble.
Gotcha.
I'm
gonna go with opportunist.
Maybe, you know what, if you're a barbarian, you're probably very, very bad at etiquette. So maybe you have a trait that really interferes whenever you try to, maybe you're not rude, but you have no sense of
I
etiquette.
think rude is good.
You do what you need to do. You
Well,
go in, you do things.
I did actually pay for a character trait of boasting, which is exactly like that. I thought that she is someone who is full of sort of self-vaunting, is always talking about her own greatness in a way that is customary for her people, but utterly not customary for polite society in Lankhmar.
Yeah, that's great. That'll
So
probably
got
give you a
opportunist.
disadvantage when you're trying to I don't want to say on all social interaction, that's too harsh, but maybe if you're dealing with people who are very aware of etiquette. So if you're dealing with the nobility of Lankhmar, you will probably be at a disadvantage.
That makes a lot of sense. And yeah, so I've got boasting, opportunist, tall, redheaded, iron stomach. These are the die traits, or I think they're die traits. Mark of privilege, cold-blooded, and rope. Sorry about my dogs. I'll mute now.
Perfect.
Hey, shush.
Sounds great.
Cool. Derek?
The dog just disappeared into the background.
Oh, that's a cool background.
You guys see that?
That's a cool background.
Yeah, I was my Lankhmar background.
Nice.
All right, so I'm used to beliefs in Torchbearer that are like as most succinct of a sentence as possible. So I didn't go as floral as you guys did for your beliefs.
That's cool.
That's fine.
I can, embellish them, but
Give it to us as they are, and we'll talk about whether there's any issues.
yeah.
I'm
Okay,
sure
so yeah, so good things come from bad deeds. Good things may come from bad deeds. I will reach any quarry in any tower through any defense. And all rats are my family, so too are all those under the foot of the rich.
What was the last one? I was just typing fast here. Oh, I can probably just copy them from your character sheet.
Yeah, all rats are my family.
Uh-huh.
So too are all those under the foot of the rich.
Got it. Oh, I like that a lot.
I love the last belief, but I think we need to work on belief 1 and 2. So like, good things may come from bad deeds, but how is that? It's not like a driving belief. How are you driven by that? What makes you passionate about that belief? Same thing with
Sorry, go ahead.
2.
And another way of putting it is, these sound like general principles, which is great, but can you add a second sentence that will make it actionable this round? So if good things may come from bad deeds, I'm willing to shed some blood in order to make some coin. this, or I'm willing to, if need be, we will kill the bridegroom in order to secure the money. In other words, it's something that there's a particular application rather than just the general principle.
Okay, yeah. Now,
And also, why is your character driven to that? It may help you internalize the belief better. Like, why did that come? Have you been so fucked over doing good things that now you only see the way to get good deeds is to just do bad deeds because, of X? Same thing, I will reach any quarry in any tower through any defense. Why are you so driven to take on those risks? What happened to your character to make you so passionate about that?
I think that one has to do with that like we're all the downtrodden, right? So like we're used to getting stepped on and getting things taken from us, and just to be like used and abused by our like superiors. I think that second belief is my my desire to like show those who think that they are above any risk or danger or harm, that they're vulnerable, that anyone is anyone is vulnerable.
Oh,
And
that's great.
What caused you to make that? Like, let's focus on belief too. So I will reach any quarry in any tower through any defense. So you are now driven to prove that you can get at anyone. Why?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that I was directly harmed, or I don't know. I mean,
Well, do you have a chip on your shoulder? Do you want to prove yourself that you're gonna. So in other words, it's not just I will do this, but so another way of phrasing number two is I'm going to choose the more difficult task rather than the easy win because I want to,
I don't think that's it.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's that I'm trying to prove anything.
I think like tower signifies like height, like
Sure.
status, right?
Yeah.
It's a status thing, right? And I will reach any quarry, any tower through any defense, and then you can say like it's like kind of like the meek shall inherit the earth type of
Yeah.
belief. It's a total insurrectionist thing, right? So
yeah, that's kind of that sentiment is sort of all over,
all
the way I'm thinking of her anyway too.
So you I think by the fact that we're hitting the nobility, right, and our group is tied to nobility, you can tack it to Tim's character, who is a kind of pissed off noble, right? Like she's an outcast noble, and say, I will learn from him, from Tim's character as much as I can about upper society, or you can tie it to the mission that we're on, and sort of like I will infiltrate the wedding. I will find a way to infiltrate the wedding, and
So beliefs can include like goals, like
Yeah, they usually do.
Mostly goal.
The reason is that the mechanic for rewarding beliefs is if you work toward the belief, you get a fate point. If you achieve the goal, you get a persona point. So and the persona points are so nice that you kind of you don't want to make it easy. You don't want to be getting the persona point each time. You want to be getting the persona point after working on it for a while. But
2 or 3, 4 sessions, you get that thing,
I'm even more generous than that, guys. I like, because especially with how many players we have, trying to accomplish these goals is going to be challenging, because we only have so much time in a session. I would say try to get that persona every single time. You're
Absolutely
probably not going to get it. Try it. And also, what I do is I have a huge overarching goal. And normally the expectation, the way I GM is, if you accomplish that huge overarching goal, I give you a deed point for that. Or if you abandon that belief because you need to help somebody else, and what's the word for when you
Mold breaker.
down? Yeah, mold breaker. So maybe you give up going after your quarry because Vina needs help and you have to abandon that. You might get a mold breaker. You might get a deed point for that.
Mhm.
So what I do is first sentence is like the large goal, second sentence is the midterm goal, and then the final sentence is what you're actually a small little tiny step toward the midterm goal.
And that's in each belief.
Yeah. And,
Okay.
And they can
you're
change.
having trouble internalizing it. And that's why I'm saying come from a state of storytelling where in the storytelling sessions, if you ever have been to Hollywood or read about script writing, normally a character will have a wound, like some reason that they're pissed off about something or they're traumatized about something. And that's where your belief should spring from. And that way it's so like my mother was killed by this enemy. Like that's such an internalized belief. It's so easy to understand how your character would act from that. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that, but it should be, your belief should be tied to some emotional point within you.
That was really nicely put, Peter. I just want to reassure you guys, I can hear you as you when I
Oh,
walk out
that's
the room.
good.
I'm totally
You
still part of
disappeared
it.
into the background. You're magic.
I needed some water, but I do have it in my ears. So no, that's exactly that was great. Yeah, in fact, the reason I added the last sentence of my second belief is I'm going to earn the appellation Stormbringer. That's there so that I know when I've done it.
Cool.
But I think actually Peter's suggesting I feel like mine will be completely done if I can ever earn the appellation Stormbringer. So maybe actually I've put that as the last line. That's not the first step. That's like the last step. So he's even encouraging us to have the last step as the first sentence, the middle step, and then the last sentence is the middle, the first initial step. So anyway, I like it.
Either way, yeah, as long as it's identifiable, overarching goal, which is going to get you a deed point, midterm goal, which may or may not get you a deed point, and the quick goal, which will give you a persona point should you accomplish it.
Mm.
And it's going to be, especially in the beginning, it's going to be hard to accomplish things because you're not right. Very skilled. Even though you have 4 life paths, you're still going to find yourself struggling to accomplish things.
Well, so, with the first one, good things may come from bad deeds.
Why do you have that mindset?
Well, another way of putting it is, are you bloody minded, right? Are you not just prepared, but kind of eager to spill some blood?
I think so. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Like there's this sort of like life of crime. But just like Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser, like they're always doing crimes, but they're like really kind of positive about it. It's like,
They're not
it's
dark.
just like, it's what we do, and it's our life.
It's getting drunk and having ladies, like it's fun for them, right?
Right.
Whereas yours is like societal.
Yeah,
I have a
darker.
societal belief too. My societal.
It's like a necessary thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have
why did your character have that belief?
I don't know. I'm trying to think back, because we talked about the ship rats being how I got to Lankhmar, and that's kind of like a connection with the smuggling and stuff, which I think Sanj thought of, and that's really cool.
That's really cool.
So I'm thinking, I don't know, guys. I'm not used to being a player. I don't have to think about this shit.
Happened to you. I think something happened to you doing good things that turned you away. Somebody abused your trust. That's what I think.
But we're also good to Peter and like I think Eric, you can also play and learn, right?
That's right.
We're
Absolutely.
learning about
Sure.
the characters now, right? I don't
Yeah,
have the whole
absolutely.
story. There's some
Yeah.
some things I want, like in my story, like I want to because I picked second sight, like I took a big point, like 4-point trait that has nothing to do with thieving and thing, but I took second sight because I wanted to have something magical that I could latch onto to eventually earn gifted. You know what I mean? Like if we play like 20 sessions or 30 sessions, I'm gonna have a neophyte sorcerer in love with me, and he's going to teach me how to, right? And that's
Yeah,
kind of where
absolutely.
yeah, like we will discover more about these characters as we play, and build. Sometimes you write backstory to fill in what's happening in the game now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric, your character I know is good at striking from the shadows.
Mhm.
One of their skill sets is striking from the shadows. Um, do they have are they good at deception and lies, or
Let's see. What have I got here? Falsehood.
got some falsehood? Yeah, and haggling. Yeah.
Secret wise, soothing platitudes, stealthy, inconspicuous. Um, what was your question about
Such great skills. You have great skills.
Yeah, you have a
man.
great collection. So I was looking to your skills just for inspiration on what kinds of bad deeds you might be up for committing or want to commit.
Well,
'Cause
my fourth life path is kidnapper.
absolutely. No, that's
So
known.
I think that's kind of
known.
like my line of work.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe.
Yeah, I just was trying to figure out, earning someone's trust and then betraying them. That's a kind of bad deed, right? And that's one you're actually pretty good at because you can soothing platitudes your way into their confidence, get a secret because you're secret wise, and then totally use it against them. You're also good at
really think about it like that,
right?
Yeah.
But you're also good at springing out of the shadows and just garroting some innocent idiot, which is a different kind of betrayal, right? And a different kind of bad deed. It's dirty fighting. So I just was, I'm not asking you to totally commit to one or the other, but I just was trying to imagine what kind of bad deeds are on the menu here when you say good deeds. Good things can come from bad deeds.
Right. Yeah.
That's a good way of thinking.
Sort of combining that with what Peter was saying, I think I was trying to do something good and I was taken advantage of or something bad happened from it, and that's kind of
cool.
what set me in with the kidnapping thing. Maybe I was going back and forth from, what do we say, Ilthmar is where
Yeah.
okay. I was coming back and forth from Ilthmar with people that were emigrating to the city, and maybe like namely like children that were like in of rat blood,
refugees, children, refugee children.
Right,
yeah, they're fleeing. Yeah, absolutely.
Ratfugee. He's a ratfugee.
But that's really good. And so they at some point get betrayed.
Yeah, maybe
in Lankhmar,
like maybe like the places that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just was like fleshing it. And so now that makes it a lot clearer why you might be willing to commit kidnapping on human children in Lankhmar. That you're kind of, it's all fair since they did bad things to your kids, or not to your children, but your people's children. Yeah.
I'm thinking, like I was getting like maybe like there was supposedly like a safe place that we were bringing these families and kids, but it turns out that they were just being sold into slavery or something like that.
Oh, that's nasty.
So if there's a safe place where they were being, could it be one of the basements of one of the great churches? Because we don't have any connection right now to the one of my favorite things in the stories are those churches on the God Street.
Oh,
and maybe one of these God Street churches had a basement where they were putting up the refugee children, but it turned out they were all being gathered for some kind of unspeakable sacrifice or something. I don't know, I'm just making noises, but
oof, that's rough.
I I mean, I like the idea that you've got it in for one of these churches, just because I'd like a story at some point about those guys. But it could also just as easily be something else. And we certainly have a lot of connections to. What was the thing you were just saying, Sanj, about the?
Don't remember.
Anyway,
Huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, sold into slavery reminded me of Sanj's life paths. That's what I was.
Oh yeah. For my
that was the
character.
connection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
there's
like
was-
mine is a societal thing, right? As well.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So sold into slavery ties into Sanj's thing really nicely. So either of those things is great. And you can figure that out down the line, or if you're not ready to decide right now. That's really good.
Yeah, I think I've got this thing where like it's like no one is safe.
Mhm.
Like we were made to think that we were safe. It turns out we weren't. So, nobles or some people in the church or whatever, whoever it is, your children are not safe from me.
Yeah,
Wow.
I like that.
That
Yeah.
is good.
That might be good for that. No one is safe thing might also be good for producing your third instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now yours are always. I mean, your first one is like, okay, I want to stay safe. Always stand between the danger and the door. The second one is actually quite aggressive. Never let the quarry make a sound. It's all about like strategy. But the third one might be like always, look behind, keep an eye behind your back. Like, you're a little shifty and a little paranoid.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm always on alert. Yeah. I was thinking about something like also something like, anyone can be your enemy. Something like that.
I think a good instinct that would tie into Bleed 3 for you would be I will always defend a rat in trouble.
That's cool.
Okay. And you said that's an instinct?
Yeah.
Like, so basically instinctually, so he can have a situation where these urchins are chasing down a bunch of rats in the river district to eat, and you're like you stop them and you do something really rash and hard, like your character,
Like I fuck a kid up.
Yeah, and the rest of us are like, okay.
Yeah, well, what's tricky about the instincts, one of the ways that they work is they get you into trouble and earn you fate points by getting you into trouble. So what Peter's just suggested is a good one for get you into trouble. Like if he puts some rat-folk children in front of you, he can anticipate that you are going to get yourself into trouble over it.
Right. Yeah.
And you can, when you come to do Artha, and let's say you failed a roll or there were additional consequences, you can say, this trait caused me to get into trouble, and that's how you get that Artha.
Yeah, this instinct did. I think we're talking about that at the moment. Or
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And the other one, though, you also want to have instincts that keep you out of trouble, right? So an instinct. So, and I wonder whether never let the quarry make a sound. I mean, I think that's a great battle tactic, but I'm not sure it's good as a way of avoiding a roll. I mean, usually an instinct is about a way of being an action ahead. So, always keep my sword, draw my sword at the first sign of trouble is a classic. I want to not have to waste an action drawing my sword. So if there's trouble, I can say, I've got my sword out. And Peter can't say, oh, well, you need to draw your sword. That takes an action. No, it's one of my instincts. So you could have one that's, always be on the alert. I'm not quite sure that would allow you.
I think that's kind of what. Yeah, because when I was writing the Never Let the Quarry Make a Sound, I was also thinking about it kind of covering anything that can make noise, like an alarm or something that can get knocked over or any kind of thing like that.
Oh, so, I see.
Cool.
So I can sort of flesh it out. So I was thinking like that, but I do like the thing of always watching my own back. I can kind of picture her like a rat, just sort of like looking around all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you
sniffing around.
Can you
played Mouse Guard? They have that kind of instinctual fear or running away thing, like
running.
Kind of like tap into that. Do you
Do
guys
you
know
have
how to fill in the PTGS in this character sheet on Roll20? Like,
where are you?
look,
Where's PTGS ON gear? I see.
yeah,
Oh
your
man,
hit points thing.
I hadn't done that at all. Shit. Okay. Yeah,
Well, it
I need to
doesn't.
do that.
It's not important. It's not important. We can, if we
Yeah,
get
I've got it all
injured,
on my
we're
sheet if
fucked
need be, but
anyways.
yeah. If you can work the word whisker into that, like always be on the alert, I think the word whisker would be nice.
Nice.
I love
Yeah.
the fact that
Uh-huh.
you have tail as a trait. That's definitely going to get you in trouble.
That's right. The
Yeah.
tail's great. All right. So yeah,
All right.
PTGS,
I
how does that work?
imagine you probably have to keep your tail down one leg, something like that, in your pants
Yeah.
to disguise it.
I found a picture of an actress that I think that would probably play Nico.
No, nice.
And actually, it's kind of got like a cool little outfit on that is also applicable.
If you guys want, you should be able to upload pictures. I think pictures help. Yeah, go ahead and like give your characters a photo. I think that'll be great for people to help
Yeah, absolutely.
up the ambiance.
My character's full.
So, I mean, I don't want to, have the whole session be figuring out my fucking character.
No, it's all good. It's so important. It's worth getting it done now. It's all good.
And
I don't think
this helps me. Go ahead.
No. You go. I'm good.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that it helps. This is helping me understand the game more because I'm I'm coming from Torchbearer where all of this stuff is really really streamlined into it being like very very actionable, like in the moment all the time. Like instincts is the way is the way that you break the rules in Torchbearer, and here it's similar, but it kind of does more stuff. And goals and beliefs seem to be kind of combined into beliefs here, where. And you only get one of each. You get one belief and one instinct.
Yeah.
So this is much much different than what I'm used to, and also with how, you can have like a fucking paragraph as your belief, where that's something that I always try to help my players in Torchbearer.
Burning Wheel has ruined me. I can't play games like Iron Sworn or anything like that anymore because they're just not as deep character-wise as the Burning Wheel, so it's great.
Yeah.
But I am ruined. The Burning Wheel has set a new bar.
So I wanted to read you my instincts.
Yeah, please.
Make a noticeable tick when dealing with slave owners or imps. Because I got the off kilter. I got the off kilter trait, so I was thinking like,
I love it.
Always stand and drool in the presence of magic. So that's like a definite fight. If there's a fight, I'm rolling steel and I'm choosing stand and drool even before my knives go out. So it's probably a death sentence. And always coat my knife in blackadder venom. So I picture if that ever happens, I'd roll my poison die afterwards, and like it's a pretty high ob, and I have a pretty shitty skill, so we'll see how that goes.
Great. You are a dangerous character, my friend.
Yeah, man. Yeah, these poisons are pretty nasty, but everything is B3 or B2. Like I have no good skills. I have none. The harem slave just starts off very poor, there's like not enough. So can we
that
get
drop dead gorgeous trait should get you in a lot of trouble as well.
That's an awesome trait. Yeah, Vina is an alluring dark-skinned Quarmalian with exotic green eyes. She carries herself with sinuous grace, and her long black hair is punctuated by a bright white streak emanating just above her forehead. She wears, because I kind of, she has second sight, so she has a third eye kind of thing. Like and she wears soft leather breeches and a green blouse to accentuate her eye color. Her hair is usually tied up in a ponytail. My traits are brown skin, sinuous, green-eyed, drop-dead gorgeous, off-kilter, paranoid, numb, and second sight. That's cool.
That's awesome.
Love it. I love it. Okay.
So I am.
And I have two relationships. I have Jarel Saluki, a merchant in the bazaar who deals in illicit compounds, and Slayer Marlson, lover and Thieves Guild thief. So it's funny, eh? Slayer is like, if you have Burning Wheel, the first version, like not the revised, but the first one, the character creation example is, when, oh, and then I pick my blah, 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 and I pick, so he has a neophyte sorcerer criminal PC, and the guy's name is Slayer Marlson, so I just took that.
Nice.
Yeah, cool.
So, Sanj, you were just asking about how the BTGS and gear works. So
Yeah.
I was able to get my weapons in. The main thing is it calculates the INS for you. If you enter the power of the weapon, it'll do everything. If you enter the power of the weapon, it'll give you the INS automatically.
Oh, okay, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
I would say
So I
that's
just-
But I can't figure out PTGS. Can you? No, eh?
What's that? PTGS?
Like you're supposed to kind of like shade in what your mortal wound is and your
Your
super
mortal
would
wound
be,
and stuff. Right. I'll work on that next and tell you if I can figure that. Sorry, my dogs are being left. Hey, stop it. Lily, can you tell the dogs not to do that? Okay. He just doesn't have the authority that I do. I have incredible authority over the dogs. Well, so Sanj, you were saying that maybe we should start and just bring Tim in when he gets here.
Yeah,
and
I
that's,
kind of want to
think,
roll,
okay.
but
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So let's figure out what the scene is here at the start where Tim's not yet with us. But were you thinking, Peter, that we would need to do some work in the sense of circles or contacts in order to find out the details of when this ship is coming into port and
I
where
think
it's
that's
coming
a
into
great
port?
idea.
Okay.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay. All right. So do we know the name of this this young nobleman? I think we know the name of the nobleman. We should at some point name the nobleman and the local Lankhmarian woman that he's marrying. Or maybe we don't. I don't know. Maybe
You
that's
know
something
what?
we can ask him.
Let's do it through tests. Go and someone circle somebody up and get the info from them.
Okay, I think that's going to have to be Tim because he's the one who has that contact. So we'll assume that.
Oh, right.
But I think what we do know is that there's a boat coming in from Illic Ving, from faraway Illic Ving, and it's due in the harbor tonight, and we need to figure out where it's going to be berthed, which berth it's going to be in. So we need to go down to the harbor and talk to somebody. Does that seem like a reason?
You guys could pre-scout the docks if you want now, and then come back and find out. And so when you get told where the boat is, you have more of an idea of what the setup looks like. Maybe you could see if there are others scouting the docks as well.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense.
so
Sure.
let's go. So our pub is called the Hungry Kraken.
Oh, nice.
The Hungry Kraken. And
The Hungry Cracker.
The Hungry Kraken.
Honky Cracker.
The Hungry. I don't know if it's Kraken or Kraken.
I think it's Kraken, right? I don't know.
It's the Kraken.
The main, I think the release the Kraken is what people have been saying lately. But the nice thing about Kraken is no one will make cracker jokes. So let's go with Kraken.
Release the Kraken.
Okay.
So in the Hungry Kraken, I feel we're sitting. This is our usual spot, right? And we're kind of back in a corner, in shadows. And maybe Vina is a little paranoid, so she sits with her back against one wall, and surveying the scene.
Nico is also paranoid and sitting sort of like this, and the two of you are in the corner like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, Nico
exactly.
doesn't like corners either. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do, guys.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be crammed into the corner if you need to get out. Is that your concern?
I think that might be. That might become one of my instincts. Something about staying out of the
Cool.
corner, staying out of a corner.
But at
Cool.
least you don't. No one can get behind you. I think it was Vina's choice. But
So I kind of I look around and I circle up someone who has been trying to flirt with me, a sailor, right? So I guess I have no relevant life path. I'm a smuggler, maybe, like, you know. But
yeah, I mean that's how you do it. I mean, you need a
Yeah.
relevant
You wanna-
life path.
Circle up a sailor.
yeah,
Yeah, you're a smuggler.
or
Of course, that's a relevant life path.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, it's a relevant life path. So I'm gonna circle up a smuggler. And you know, same station. You know, I don't know if time is really of any importance in a situation like this. It's mostly, I
I
think.
think we're working over the course of. I don't know. Are we pressed for time here, Peter, or is this sort of we have several? This is
I'm
several
not,
weeks
no.
of. No. I don't mean in the world. I mean in the game world, in the adventure. We're not pressed for time. We're planning this over several weeks. Is that right? So we don't need to take the right here, right now penalty. I don't think.
Yeah, I think
So
that's fair.
you tell me the odd, but Peter, you're the GM, man.
Well, what remind us, Sanj, what page is this on again?
380.
Thank you.
So yeah, and I'm looking for a dude who's preferably good looking, but I'm not choosy. Who I can you know, sashay over and you know, look like I want to drink. Is there a band playing? Like, yeah, there's a band playing for sure. Tambour and lute. Dun 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 dun. Dun.
Okay,
So
so reading down the list here, just to, or do we want to do the? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. You talk through the setting first.
that's all. Whatever. You go ahead.
Okay, so reading on the list, what are we looking for? Name a role like an armorer or a scribe. So I think this. Are you saying a sailor or a
sailor.
okay, a sailor?
Sailor.
Okay, and do they? So that's a broad occupation or profession.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
You guys are on or near the docks right now, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It'll be a broad occupation.
And station, is this person, what's their station in relation to yours?
Same.
Are they
Low
same station?
life. Low life. You know, regular.
You're an escaped slave, though, right?
Okay, so higher.
One
Yeah,
notch
I
higher.
think they're going to be higher station than you.
Oh
Okay.
shit. Op 3. Here we go.
Unless you want to describe them in a way that makes it clear why they're lower station.
I don't care, man. I'm okay with Op 3. I gotta pay for my past. You know what I mean?
Well,
Now,
I mean, I think
do you have
the thing
any
you should be
reputations or affiliations that will help you?
pause for a second, because I think the thing you really want to pay for is the disposition and character knowledge, right? Because you want this person to have knowledge about when the boat is coming in.
Sure.
Then that would be probably depends on if to know when the boat is coming. I will say that's probably only +1 ob. But if you wanted something more specific than that, then I would say it's going to be a higher ob.
Right. So in other words,
Well, I think ob 4 right now.
okay. So just to clarify here, Peter, if all we are interested in is when's the next boat from Illic Ving, that's +1 ob. Whereas if we wanted to know where is it going to be docking, or who's the merchant who's in charge of it, that starts to be like +2 ob. And if we want to know, you know, what's the build of the boat or what's the layout of the boat or something like that, then that's like +3 ob. Is that right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
So how can we frame this?
How much Artha are we starting with? How much Artha are we starting with?
I always give people 2 fate, 1 persona to start
Perfect.
with.
So
Oh,
Sanj, I may
nice.
be able to help you here because I have a sailor life path myself.
Sweet baby.
But
It's
so
you can't help with circles. You have to kind of
You can help with
Oh,
circles.
circles has help. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Yeah, you can
absolutely.
help with
Yeah.
circles.
So I
Sure.
think I can help you, but I think it would make sense for us to frame it so that we can avoid so we can get the same station thing. So we might want to characterize it as a sailor who has fallen into smuggling or sort of fallen down from or become
Nice.
something more than just a sailor.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Does that or
yeah,
maybe a
I'm
sailor
gonna,
who conveniently lets
a
things
shady,
fall off like
a shady
lets things fall
sailor.
off the boat, lets things
Yeah.
fall off the boat or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
there's
say though, if he's lower station, it'll be less likely that he'll have lots of info. So
Sure. Got
I
it.
would say
Good point.
that
Good
if
point.
you only wanted to find when the boat was coming, he could do that. But if he's
Okay.
super low
Got it.
station, he's just physically not gonna know anymore, you know?
Got it. No, I hear you.
Physically, but
What's tricky is that if he's got a higher station and he has specific information, then we're looking at as much as a 6, an ob of 6, which is way beyond our wildest dreams. So I think all we're looking for at this point is when does the boat get in?
right. That's all. So
Or
okay.
let's ask
So
when and where, which dock, because I think that's all we need. When and where, which is ob 2 plus 2 for the higher station. No, we can just do normal station. If we do just when and where does the boat dock? Can we go with a low station?
You're looking for a real low life. If he's not normal station, if he's down to Venus station, she's not an outlaw, but escaped slave kind of station. He's just not gonna.
I'm good with I'm good with ob 3 or 4. Whatever makes sense to you, Peter.
I think with an ob 4, you will be able to get the time of the boat.
And it's a dude who's somewhat like I'm like, you know what?
Well, actually,
Freed,
let me
how do you
rephrase things.
pronounce your name, Chuck? Freed?
He
Freda,
will
Freda.
know the information, but on the circles, he just gets there. He's not going to necessarily give you the information. Once you circle him up, then you have to persuade him to give you.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay, so
okay.
So
you help, Eric? Do you have a similar life path from this sailor? Do you have sailing, or what are you? Are you city or village born?
I was born below.
You were born below, so you may not have any life paths that cross with this villager.
Right, I don't think so.
Sailor. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. So you probably can't help.
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay. So,
all right, guys.
So we're
now we're not doing consequences of failure yet. He may or may not have enmity with you if you fail your circles. I would say that's a bit harsh. I will say that if you fail this, he's a nobody, If you fail at circling him, he'll be there, but he just will be so dumb and ignorant, he just won't know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Freda, what do you
so
think?
if all we're looking, so to be clear here, I think we're only asking for win at this point, right? So if we're asking for win, we can go low station, total ob 3. I think that's probably wise. I don't think we can hit a 4. But
yeah, that's fine. I would say that's fine.
Okay.
What's your circles?
B2.
B2. Okay, good. All right. Yeah, that's why 3 would be better than 4.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get a die from me.
Tough.
Okay,
it's hard enough just at 3.
3 against
guys,
3. What is that?
Role play. So
totally okay. Sorry.
So,
done with all the dumb math stuff.
Vina. So what do you think? Freda? So how about that one there, with the red hair, the ponytail? You think
I
he
have,
wants
I
me
have,
to-
I have seen him hanging around the docks. I think he used to be a sailor, but he's fallen on hard times. He's not trusted by the best captains any longer, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Let's
Maybe
see.
our kind of guy, but I don't want him to want. He will want a cut. He'll want a cut. Not good. We've got
Maybe I
enough.
can maybe I can tempt him with something else. And she kind of like unbuttons her blouse a little bit, right? And she actually she looks like Gal Gadot. Okay,
Nice.
a darker skinned Gal Gadot, and she like just sinuously sort of gets up and starts walking towards him and willing that this guy knows everything. So I'm rolling B2, right? Well, let me do it in the computer so that it's all legit.
Yeah.
Sure. So you're
The way you
if
do that, if you haven't done it before, is you will click on the
The dice?
circle skill. So there's a dice looking thing right by circles.
Yeah.
Click on that.
Okay.
And then you're going to add one. So it automatically adds your 2. So you're going to add 1 from Chuck's help.
Dude, I'm pressing it, but nothing's happening on the dice when I touch it.
It'll actually happen in the screen. You should see it in the
Okay, yeah, okay, I see it. It's behind my character. That's why I missed it. There we go.
It gives you and it allows you to put in a die for me. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
I guess we'll
Yeah, so the first one, add 1.
Wait,
and then you're not probably spending any arth on this.
Cancel. Okay.
And then you would add, it's going to be ob 3.
Advantages, +1, just 1.
No,
Okay.
yeah, help and advantages, right?
Yeah.
Plus
So, oh wait, hold on. Let me.
So it allows you to key and help separately, huh, Peter?
Sorry. So help first, right? So I don't have help. Wait.
No, you have help.
Yeah, you do. Chuck.
No, I don't have. Guys, sorry, I'm just getting
That's
used
fine.
to the character sheet. Okay, I'm starting all over. So click, and then it comes up. First thing it asks is reputations, affiliations, and advantages. Do I press submit? Yeah.
No, hit 1 and then
Artha
hit
dice. None.
Oh, okay. So
Base
And
see.
op
3. Is there? Oh, I guess the first one I should have put help, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. So let me do that. Sorry.
oh, so it already did it.
I've never done this game. Okay. Boom. Here we go. Advantages. I have 1. Okay. Submit. Artha dice. Shit. 0. Submit. Base op 3.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my God. 3 dice with ob 3. That's a difficult test.
worst.
Ready?
It's a difficult test for sure. Oh, man. You got a 6.
I got a 6.
You want to spend a fate?
How can you see that you got a 6?
If you hover over successes.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna spend weave the fate in my favor. How do I do that now?
So go over to fate and change it from 2 to 1, and then click on the fate dice.
Okay.
And the remaining ob will be 1. So number of dice 1, remaining ob 1.
Okay, ready? Boom. Remaining ob. Did I get it?
Remaining ob is 1.
Okay, submit.
Got it. All right, you saunter
I got
up
it.
to this guy, and he slowly looks you up and down. You can see the lust in his face. He's all grubby looking though. He says, "What do you want, Quarmalian bitch?" Oh.
The audacity of you to call me a bitch. Did you ever disparage me, you runt? Like, I'm kind of like doing and I grab his balls you know.
He says, "I like it rough." He's putty in your hands.
Yeah, you look to me like the one who you're a sailor, right? Coming in and out. You're here for what? 1 night, 2 nights? You know what's going on around here? I am looking for some information, my friend. What's the name of our vessel, the ship? Do we know? No. The
No,
boat.
we're looking for the next ship that's bound from Illichving.
Okay.
Hey, by the way, we probably want to create notes because when we establish facts and stuff like that, for now, type in names and things like that. You can say EF : like establish fact, and type in the name of the ship, type in important things.
Sure. I am trying to keep notes here. I said that we circled up a sailor.
I do the notebook stuff.
That was wonderful and invisible. Because of the dumb screen thing.
Yeah.
So we don't have a name for this guy because we don't get to name him because we didn't overscore it. You could name him, or we can just leave him anonymous. I think the rule is we leave him anonymous.
I don't care.
Okay. So we circled
You
up
could put down that you met some sailor. You circled up some sailor.
Yeah,
but
we just circled up a disreputable sailor with information on when the next ship from Illichving, but we don't know the name of the ship or where it's going to land. But we're trying to get that information from him now, I guess, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna seduce him. I'm gonna do persuasion, forking, and seduction. And my question is, you look to me like a sailor, one who's been around. The vessel, the ship that berths in from Illichving. Where will it be docked, my friend?
he is going to have a will of 2. Because yeah.
Like a
He's that guy.
Dumb
All right.
guy.
I was going to see if I could help somehow by bringing a beer over, but maybe we don't need that help.
No. No. Okay. So I'm rolling persuasion. All right. And forks 1. Submit. Author dice none. Submit. Base ob 2. Submit. Boom. Yes.
Got
Make
it.
Persuasion, forking in. Okay. Done.
All right. So the outcome is that he has heard of an important ship. He doesn't know. He seems so ignorant and uninformed. He's heard rumors that people are talking about some important ship coming in right after dark.
Some important ship, but where, my friend? Where?
He doesn't know. He said sometime right after dark. That was a rumor that they are not far out, and they will arrive sometime as dark settles in.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, you can imagine how they've signaled, with lanterns or something, and maybe they're
They
just
could
past
probably
customs.
see them off the coast,
Right.
Probably.
Well, and I think once a ship gets close, things slow down because they have to pass through customs and stuff. So they're probably stuck for a while. So this seems about right. Yeah, that's great.
So
and the
Chuck,
ship probably
Chuck,
only does 6 or 7 knots. So yeah.
Chuck, that was a ob 3 circles test. So I had 3 dice. So I'm gonna mark it difficult. And Chuck, I think you are marking it challenging because you have 2.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right. If you guys look for Sanjeev, if you look at the circles test that you rolled, right below the word circles, it'll show you the difficult.
Oh, that's nice.
Cool.
Yeah, so it'll actually show you what level. Yeah.
And then you just fill it in, right? Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Unlike
Foundry,
routine
persuasion
automatically fills it in for you, but Roll20 does not.
Cool. I like.
Nice.
I don't mind the bookkeeping.
Okay. Well, so that's real nice. Yeah, I'd like to, can I just do a quick trial roll of circles just so I can see how the interface works? I'm not, just trying to get a sense of how it works. So I'm rolling, so reputations, affiliations, advantages, and that would include help, I gather, Sanj. That's when you put in help. Artha dice. If you want to do a persona or a deed, you write 1P, or what do you do? I have no idea.
That's
So
you.
if you wanted to spend a persona, you would knock your persona down from 1 to 0. And then when it asks you about Artha, that's where you would add it in.
I just wasn't sure if I write, how do I type in that I want to do a persona? Do I write 1P, or what do I write?
No, you don't do it here. You do it after you roll the dice, and then you'll.
No, with persona you do it at the
Persona,
time.
yeah,
It
yeah,
looks like
you're
that
right.
works. So I have 1 circles. I have a circles of 1, and it did roll 2d6 after I put in for Artha 1P. So I think
If you
that's how it
look down
works.
below your circles, you can see that it says Artha +1.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
cool.
1P equals 1. Great. All right.
And if you hover over the successes, it'll tell you what your rolls were.
What your dice were. Yep. Okay. So this is working the way I would expect it to. All right, great. And I noticed it made one of the dice green in Sanj's. Is that because it was a 6? I see. So it marks the
All
6 is
6s
green.
are greens and all 1s are red.
Got it. Okay, great.
Cool.
Great.
So that was
Lovely.
good. I got two cool tests there, and
Nice
I come
job.
back with that information to the gang. As like, you're gonna like this, Nico.
All right,
The ship is coming in the cover of darkness.
Let's turn the spotlight on Eric's character.
Yep.
So Eric,
That's why I
which
literally
lead
said
do you want to
Nico.
pursue?
Actually I wanted to. I didn't get to bring this up earlier. I still have. We were talking about affiliations and stuff. Last time I didn't get to really go over them.
Okay.
I still have 4 points. I still have 4 resource points. And as a rodent, I get a 1 die affiliation with family, my family, and like my nest, like my rodent nest.
Nice.
So that's
Okay.
free. But I've got 4 points now. I figure that, I mean, I don't want to go back and mess with what we just did, but I feel like Nico would have some kind of relationship with people on the docks or sailors and something like that. How would
Yeah.
how does that work? How do I
You
set something like that
spend
up?
for it. So under relationships, you would add a relationship in. You would go through the normal expenditure. So let's say you wanted a minor relationship with a dock worker or a sailor, or whatever it was. You would then, it's minor, so that's like 5 points. But if you only have 4 points, there are ways to make it cheaper. So maybe it's a romantic relationship or hateful. There are different things that will lower the cost.
Forbidden, hateful, or romantic will lower the cost by 1. Or if it's a family, like immediate family, it lowers the cost by 2, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, and the other possibility is to get an affiliation of some kind. I think you should wait, and we'll, we can add it to your character before next session.
Okay.
Once we've played through this, you might have a better idea of, what kind of relationship you want. Sailor's
I
not a bad
also-
option, but
also another just point of order that I just noticed. I put shoes down, and rodent don't need shoes,
there's a point right there.
which really, and it's actually 3 points. So I've got 7 points now.
But are you going to be walking around with your rodent paws for everyone to see?
I think he
Oh,
may,
you don't
he may
look. You
not
don't
have-
look like that. You don't look like that.
Yeah,
Right. I don't think. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there are certain ratty things, but like I can carry them really well, like by hiding them in clothing. I figure that like there's like I've got
Iblis.
maybe like thicker hair like on certain parts of my arms or legs or something, but I can hide it with clothing. I've got claws, and I've got like big incisors, but I think it just looks like I've got like sort of like buck teeth, kind of.
I think a human would say you look mousy.
Right.
You're like a mousy human. Like,
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
you've seen people like that, right? Like they just,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
ugly, totally ugly. So,
Hey, 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 hey.
yeah. So yeah, if you want to, tap a relationship and go and talk to them about what birth, like now we know darkness, we know when it's coming, but you can definitely like I just passed it on to you as saying it's coming in at dark at night, and like in the role play,
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
And just remember, your character is driven by their beliefs. So that's why I'm always going to ask you, what belief do you want to pursue?
mm.
okay, so I mean, for me to pursue this, I'm going to need to put down some kind of affiliation, right? Like have some kind of in order to try to do circles or
I
something like
think
that.
a relationship, just you can pay for a relationship, and that's the cheapest because affiliations and reputations are super expensive. Just if you have a relationship, you can just
Oh,
straight
a
up go to
relationship.
them.
Okay, that's what I'm supposed
Yeah,
to.
and
Okay,
just go
got
and
it, got
talk
it.
to them.
And a relationship is a person that you can just go to anytime you want without needing to circle them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Right.
it's
it's
just
like a really well, it's a person you have a relationship with that you can go to at any time. And if it's not an antagonistic one, you can go to them, within reason without any special cost.
I'm thinking like some kind of harbor master or something,
Well, that would be nice.
or like for like a particular section of the, not the entire harbor. Unless I can, that would be cool. I don't know how big the harbors are here, or what the dock situation is. Yeah, Peter, how far reaching would if I was to have a relationship with like a harbor master, like what kind of area are we talking?
it's a
Sounds
little bit
like
powerful.
a medium, like not minor, but whatever the medium one is. So I
10.
think that's what, a 15-point relationship.
Yeah, I think it's 10.
What page is this on? I've forgotten. I'm looking for it.
Relationship.
In the character burner. Here we go. It's on page. Here we go. Close. 93 to 94. And yeah, so the first question is, how powerful is this person? So if it's a character who is considered significant or important, the base cost is 10 resource points. And what Peter's saying is, if they're a harbor master, that's like 10 resource points.
Right.
A relationship with a character who plays a minor role in the setting or situation would only cost 5. And if what you've got is 5, we've got to come up with a version
A dock
of this where
worker. A
a
dock
dock
worker.
worker.
A dock
There
worker.
you go.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I don't need to shoot for the moon here.
Yeah.
Although I could trade in my toolkit. But I won't do that.
No, don't do that.
Okay, yeah, so we'll do a relationship here. Dock worker. That's gonna cost me 5
And you could put
points.
that, focus on like the character info section of your sheet, put that relationship there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So minor. Okay. Name. Description. Dock worker. It's asking me for a life paths and shit, but we're not going there.
Doesn't matter.
Worker, dock worker.
So
Okay.
I think the dock workers' life paths are helpful, like maybe in figuring out what their connections are or something. I don't know. What their circles are. No. Okay, so it turns out Nico knows a dock worker. What's the dock worker's name? Have you figured that out?
No, I'm still trying to figure out how to get him to stick on my page here. Name. Okay, he's minor. I don't know. What's a good dock worker name? In this setting.
Jovan.
Jovan,
That works.
Sure.
Jovan Musk.
Jovan Musk. I like that. Jovan
Musk.
That was a joke.
Elon Musk. Jovan Musk.
Fun.
Isn't Jovan Musk?
I
mean, it's a perfume. That's like a cologne, right?
Maybe. I like the idea that he's a lowly person in this world.
The word musk, when I'm thinking of Eric, leads me to the term muskrat.
Also treading. So Joe
Yeah.
Elon Musk is somebody you've known for some years. Maybe you had dealings with him from way back when you were, on the legitimate side of the law and trying to help those kids.
Yep.
Because I like the idea that you still are in contact with someone who reminds you of your better self.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Cool.
Hey,
Okay. Yeah.
Bud.
All right.
Do it.
So let's go down and talk to my man Joe Von Musk.
Right.
Yeah.
Is he
So
yeah. Can we say that he's a foreman? So he's not just a dock worker, but he's kind of a, he's not powerful, but he's,
I think that was what I was thinking.
Now,
Somebody who kind of knows.
He's minor. He's minor. I'm sorry.
minor. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You push back on us, Peter. Well done. Fair enough. He's a dock worker. And what's he unloading right now? Or is
I
he
don't know.
drinking
You
right
guys
now?
tell me. Do you guys have any wises to
I was
establish?
actually asking Nico what she wanted to have him be doing, but
Wise I've got secret wise and child wise, which is weird.
yeah.
You
I have
could establish if you could use your secret wise to establish maybe the reason you know him is because you're controlling him because you know one of his secrets. You could
that's
roll
a
your
darker version of
secret
this.
wise. You could tell me what secret you want to establish, and I'll tell you the odds. So the worse the secret is, then the higher the ob it's going to be to establish it. So if you want to know that he is
maybe he's a
doing
rodent.
something super nasty where you could get him executed, that would be a very high ob. But if you know a minor secret that might embarrass him, that would be a lower ob.
Maybe
So
maybe
what
he's
is that gonna
another
do?
rodent.
That's going to keep leverage. That's just going to keep leverage on him.
Yeah. Just like you. He's a rodent and living secretly. Yeah. I mean, living
I think that's kind of
as
cool.
a human. Yeah. That's nice.
Do you like that?
Right, but
But
I
the-
mean, I feel like I'm not gonna rat. Well, no pun intended. I'm not gonna rat out another rat.
No.
I'm not gonna
I
out another
agree.
rat.
Right.
I
I,
agree.
I actually think that this isn't just about, this tells us why he will do you favors, because remember, the
Oh, okay.
rodents
So
have
we're
a
just
communal thing.
establishing more stuff. Okay. I'm not trying to
Maybe
get some kind of
maybe
advantage.
it's just that he's a human and he's doing something illegal. He's
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah,
on the docks and he's every odd box that's small, he can misdirect it into another area, and maybe the Thieves Guild have forced him to do this, and that's your secret over him. You know he's doing this for the Thieves Guild.
right.
Sure. Yeah. I
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that. Yep.
Yeah, good.
So I'm gonna say that that is going to be ob. I'm gonna say it's ob 3. It's gonna be ob 3. It's a powerful thing you'd have over him.
Well, so he has a relationship with him no matter what. So what happens if he doesn't win this?
We're not rolling circles. are we?
You know what? Let's make this, instead of making it an ob, let's make it a graduated test.
Okay.
So you roll, and depending upon how many successes you get, will be the power of the secret you have over him.
I like that. Yeah,
You
because we have a
graduated
good
test
idea for
count
a
for
minor.
advancement.
I don't think so.
It'll be
I can go.
it will be a test, and the ob will be determined by how many successes you roll. So if that's how we'll determine how difficult the test was. But you know what? You need 3 routines anyway. So if the test
it
ends
doesn't
up being
matter.
easy, that's good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I've got secret wise of.
Yeah, roll your secret wise, and it's ob 0. So no help, no Artha unless you choose to spend Artha, which I highly recommend you don't.
Right.
And no ob.
Okay. So help, forks, and advantages. 0, right?
Unless somebody has secret wise or they have some way, if someone has Thieves Guild wise or some way to fork in, people can help. If you guys can come up with a way to help, you're definitely allowed to.
Okay. Let me just look at my character again.
I have law-wise. But
Law wise,
yeah,
I think that would be relevant.
yep.
Okay, so what happens? I put a 1 there.
So you're going to get 1 help from Sanj. Now, if Sanj had a 5 or higher, you would actually get 2 dice of help. But I'm just explaining the system to you. He probably doesn't.
So I'm
I'm not useful.
yeah. So I'm kind of
Chuck, don't say that.
I'm keeping watch and looking out for Billy Club looking dudes and
I don't think that would help on a wise though. A wise is all about knowledge.
Okay.
If you had law-wise, you had law-wise, right?
Yeah, law-wise. So I'm just saying, like, hey, be a little bit discreet with this. I see that this area is patrolled by Bogart's crew. They're kind of mean, so just in and out quick.
Okay. Thanks.
And Chuck, you don't have a way to help, right?
No, I don't. Yeah.
So you're going to get 1 dice of help.
Yep. Okay, so now I'm onto the Arthur dice, which I'm not adding any.
Yeah, and here's the thing, why, let me explain why you probably don't want to spend your single point of Arthur on this. Now, there are times you definitely want to spend Arthur, but when 1 Arthur point can save you from death. So if your rat got into a situation where you died, you can say, hey, GM, I'm spending an Arthur. So now you're no longer dead, but something fucked up happens to you.
Okay.
But it's not death. So that's why be careful about going to 0 persona. It's dangerous.
Right. Okay. All right, cool. So now base obstacle 0.
Base obstacle is 0.
Okay. Submit.
Whoa.
Wow.
That was amazing. Hey, you got 2 6s. Do you want to spend a fate and increase that?
That could be interesting.
So that's gonna
if you spent 1 fate, you would get to re-roll both 6s.
Sure.
Okay, so reduce your fate by 1, and then click on the little dice icon next to fate. And you have 2 dice, and the remaining ob is 0.
Okay, so remaining ob is 0.
Yeah.
Now,
and you have 2 dice to spend.
So and it knows that. Oh, that's okay. Here it is. Okay.
You in the dialogue box.
Yep. Okay. Whoa.
Whoa, dude!
I own this guy.
Oh, you do own this guy. You know that not only is the guy working for the Thieves Guild, he is stealing from the Thieves Guild. So when he's taking that little box and going over, they're paying him from this, but he's also opening up the box and taking shit out of it for himself.
Yeah. Which I admire, but you
do know too that you have to be careful with him, because if you threaten him too much, he will attack you, or you'll have enmity with him. So you do know that whenever he talks to you, he has this crazy look in his eyes, because he's always like on the edge of, is it time to murder Nico now?
That's cool. Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
So does Nico doesn't know fences, so it's not that Nico has supplied this guy with a fence. She figured out his secret at some point and just figured it out. Is that right?
Yeah. I think just kind of being around, being sort of sneaky, inconspicuous, just kind of like keeping an eye on things.
Right. At some
But
point,
I think for the story, it's more interesting if he knows that you know.
Right. Absolutely. It's
Yep.
going to be really
He
useful.
knows you know.
That said, if at some point when we need a fence, this guy probably has a fence who's not involved with the Thieves Guild. So
Yeah, I think
there too.
maybe maybe when he was going through some of these crates, and then like, maybe I just somehow just like walked in on a deal he was making. While he was like mid, it was all completely clear what he was doing, and and it was just sort of like a silent kind of like, I got your number now. Yeah, like nothing was said.
What was this guy's name again?
Jovan.
Yeah, go
Musk.
ahead and write that in his description. Make sure to note that whole thing, that you have a secret over him, that he's cheating on the docks for the Thieves Guild, plus he's skimming from the Thieves Guild. Make sure to note that.
Yep, nice. I got it.
That was a great test. That's how we develop story in Burning Wheel.
That was really nice. That was really nice.
And why I love Wises. Wises not only let me tell you what is available in the world, they also allow you to change the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for suggesting that secret wise, Peter. That really helped us out quite a bit.
Yeah. Chuck.
Well, should we have
on your character now? So what does Freken want to do? What belief do you want to test against?
But I think but doesn't Nico need to just
oh yeah, I was gonna ask him a question.
Yeah, he has to ask him a question. He has to
Let's do that, because then I can act on that
do
information. That'd be great.
We can do that.
I'm just taking this note.
But I grab you for a second. I say, Nico, be careful. The Thieves Guild for sure will have a beat on this potential heist, right? So be smooth with how you ask him this question.
Yes, I will. Okay, so I, in my very sort of kind of smooth and sort of loping kind of gait, I find him where I know he's going to be at this point in the evening. Wait, is it evening?
Yeah.
Midday? Yeah. What are we talking? Evening?
Yeah. We're drinking at the bar.
Yeah, I know that he's going to be down on the dock, at by this like little sort of like tea stand sort of place, for his sort of evening kind of break. And in my way, I come up and sit near him, or kind of stand near him, and I order something, and I speak.
When you do that, by the way, when you come up just even close to him, he whips his head around and stares at you with those crazy eyes.
And
he looks afraid.
Right, I catch his eye. I kind of have like a hood, sort of like a hood on, like a short kind of cloak, that's got a hood, and I make eye contact, and then I pull my hood, forward, and I look forward, and I say, "It's okay, Muskie, you can relax."
Nice.
He's still looking at you with those crazy eyes.
Yeah, and I'm very, very calm and collected, like as I'm speaking to him. And I say, I hear there's a ship coming in, an important ship. Is there any other descriptors I can give him about the ship?
It's a ship coming in from Illic Ving.
From Illic Ving, okay. Ship from Illic Ving coming in.
So right now, before we finish the conversation, what I want to find out from you is, what is your intent? What do you want to have happen? And how are you going to do it? And the way we're going to do this is, think about what skill you want to use. I'm being more easy on you. I'm probably going to make others role play it out, you know, but for you, just for the first time you're doing a real test with an interaction, think of task and intent. So task is how you're going to do something, and intent is, what is your intent if you succeed that it happens?
And you know, if you want,
well, I can tell you want information, so your intent is probably going to be, I want him to divulge to me X, right? And I'm going to do it by persuasion. I'm just throwing something out there. You don't have to do it that way, but I'm just task and intent. And then I tell you what the consequences of failure are going to be, and then and only then do you make your roll. Never make your roll before you know what the consequences of failure are.
Okay, well, my intent is to get the information out of him where it's going to dock.
Do you think you can press him on whether the Thieves Guild have a bead on this?
Oh, right.
Good question.
Which is more important to you? Because he's not going to spit out a Bible of facts.
Right. Yeah. What's our main info we want to get out of them? You know, because I mean, in my mind, I want to, you know, I kind of want to know what kind of guard situation, you know, is gonna be like, you know, what type of defenses they're gonna have. You know, for us to try to get.
Cool. So where's the ship dock? How well is it guarded? Are both really important questions.
Yeah.
Are the Thieves Guild also interested in it? Also important, but maybe not as important as either of those other two.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. If I can sort of combine those two questions, you know, like where, you know, if I can, you know, maybe if I can find out which dock it's going to be, I know what type of retinue is going to be with it. You know, if it's more like a high scale dock, or if it's just like in the shitty area, you know, I might, could that give me more info? I don't know.
What skill are you using, Eric?
Well, I don't have a lot of great skills to. I mean, I've got soothing platitudes, and I've got intimidation.
Yeah, but soothing platitudes is kind of get yourself out of trouble. This isn't that.
I think intimidation is given what you know about him and what you have, you can intimidate him.
Yeah,
I think if you're very clever in your phrasing, you could intimidate him, but also fork in soothing platitudes so as to make clear that, hey, you know, we're friends.
Yeah,
mafioso
style.
Yeah, a little information helps the friendship thing along.
Yeah.
You know what? If you're gonna fork in something like soothing platitudes, you're gonna have to role play it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me
he's gonna
exactly
have to role play
what
it out.
you say.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely, he is. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Guys, role play it. Do it.
All right. So Johan, it's been a while since I've come down and talked to you, right? I mean, we've got a good relationship. I think we get along pretty well.
He's not giving you any vibes. He's just got that crazy stare at you.
Right. And I'm still, kind of looking mostly forward, I kind of pulled my hood back just a little bit, and kind of like look to the side, kind of at him. And I think inside in my mind, I'm just like, this guy is hilarious. Like this, he's like he's more paranoid than I am, So, and I say, what's the place? Illik Vig?
Bing, yeah.
Ving. So this ship coming in from Illik Ving, I just wanted to know if you knew where it was going to be coming in, and if your superiors may have any kind of eye on it. I know, we sometimes we get onto a rocky foot here and there, but I respect you a lot. I would really just hate for our relationship to go south, for either of us.
And I kind of lean in, I smile, and I was like, come on, Joe.
I'm not seeing soothing platitudes there, so I'm seeing intimidation. So give me an intimidation.
I'm gonna help with persuasion. I was like, come on, Jovan. It's just an innocent question. Just give us a little bit of info.
So it sounds like you're using persuasion.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, you have persuasion?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, you're gonna get a
And-
helping die.
And
Yeah.
I am going to sort of toward the end of the conversation, as this guy sort of looking tough and holding tough and acting like he's not going to do something, suddenly this towering redhead sort of appears behind the two of them and kind of frowns and leans in and doesn't say anything at all.
That sounds like intimidation for sure. So you're gonna
Definitely.
get 2 helping dice. This guy has a will of 3.
Right.
Nice.
Okay, so I've got 2 helping dice. Okay, Arthur dice, nothing.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna give you 1 advantage dice too, because you do have something on this guy.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. That's right.
All right,
Yeah.
I gotta start again. Okay, so I've got 2
My apologies.
2 from you guys, and then 1. No, yeah, no, it's okay. I clicked through too quickly. So 3
At the first stage, yeah.
good dice. Okay. Arthur, nothing. Okay, in the base op, his will is 3, so is
Great.
that the obstacle?
Yeah, base op is 3.
All right, here we go.
Wow, that is
Jesus
good.
Christ.
You got a 6. Do you want to spend that 6? I'm gonna say that if the 6 is successful, I'm gonna give you an extra piece of info from it.
Oh,
If
that
you
the
wanna
Thieves
spend,
Guild
but you
angle.
don't have.
How do I see what the dice came up as?
If you toggle
If
over
you-
the 4, if you toggle over
Oh.
your 4 successes.
Gotcha. Normally, I mean, if I beat the ob, I get what I want, right? Generally,
And you are getting
Correct.
you're getting what you want right now.
I'm gonna give you extra if you spend for that 6 and you make it. If that 6 turns into a success, I'm gonna give you more than what you wanted.
On the other hand, we started with 2 fate, is that correct?
yeah.
What's that?
We started with only 2 fate, so this would be spending your other fate. So that's the tough part. Do you spend it now or save that second fate for another moment?
Right. Well, my question was, Peter, what you didn't tell me the consequence of failure.
Oh, that's a good point. Well, you didn't fail. There will be no
Right.
consequence of failure for this 6 roll. It's just if you make it, if you spend the fate and you make it, I'm gonna give you another piece of info.
All right, let's do it.
So
Spend
click
money to
on the
make money.
fate. And make sure too, I forgot to tell you, to record anytime you spend Artha, you record it. If you look over to the circles or the skills and you'll see that there's an F, P, or D, that's how you record Artha spent on a skill. And the reason why you want to record it is because eventually, in the far future, you can shade shift your skill. It's really hard to do, but record all that because 20 or 30 or 40 sessions from now, you might start shade shifting skills.
Okay, so I spent a fate on Secret Wise.
So if you go
Earlier.
down the secret wise, you'll see F, P, and D
Yep.
to the right a bit. Yeah. And then
Now-
you spent a fate now, maybe on intimidation, you would record that there.
Yep.
And
Okay.
then
Doing
go
it.
back up to the top and click on the fate dice. And you just hit remaining ob is ob 1.
Okay. Dice
And
1.
dice. Wow. That dice that you spent exploded itself.
Wow,
Oh,
nice.
I'm going to tell you a big secret. He says to you, you don't want to even go there. The Thieves Guild is all ready to act on it.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And then he turns away and he goes back to whatever he was doing. He's ignoring you.
Guys, real
So
squirrely.
but he did first tell us where it was docking and a little
He
bit
tells you
about.
where.
And he
Yeah.
also, I think, according to the original ask, was going to tell us something about how it was being guarded by what its guard component was on the ship or something like that.
Yeah, I ended up not asking that question.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
So it just
my
tells
mind
us
just
where
kind
it's
of
being
went
docked.
to the Thieves Guild thing. It just kind of came out. So, but I feel like that's pretty important. It gives us something to work around.
So can we just give a name to the place where it's docking? Is it the spice wharves or the lumber wharf? Maybe lumber wharves because it's coming in from the north.
I don't think he's going to know. I think you guys will have to find that out from someone else.
Oh, okay. I thought that his original intent was to find out where it was docking. That's not the case.
Did
It
you
was.
say where?
Yeah.
Well, I mean that was the ask, right?
Oh, he did?
I mean,
Okay. Then
Mhm.
then you know. I'm sorry. You know.
Okay, so I just was trying to give a name to the place. Is it the lumber wharves or?
I don't even know the name of the place.
I'm going to write down lumber wharves until you tell me
Okay.
not to. So,
It's probably, you know what? It's probably going to be a really nice part of the wharf because
okay, you got the nobleman's place, right?
So I would say it's up near the north by the wall. Because if you look
Okay.
at the wharf, it looks like the best wharf. I could be wrong. Maybe either the extreme north or the extreme south. You know what? The extreme south wharf looks more impressive.
Great. Can I call it the Sapphire Wharf just to give it a fun name?
Sure.
Great. Far
Sapphire
south
Wharf. Nice.
city, but that the Thieves Guild is planning.
Yeah. And write these things down in the chat because it's an easier permanent record that we can see.
Oh, okay. I was typing.
He's
them
writing it in the
I was going to put them on the Google Doc, but
That's fine.
happy to put them both places.
Yeah, because you know what? Then we're going back and forth between docs and it's hard to find. Or what we could do is
I see. So what you're saying is
handout.
Right.
I can create a handout.
I can open a handout while you're doing it. I know how to do that. Tokens.
Well, I think what you're saying is that the nice thing about the chat is it's preserved from session to session, and if we put the text in as we go along, the die rolls are correlated with the text
Right.
that's important. Yeah. I will type it there. Totally happy to do that. Here we go.
And so I've got one final question in the learning of the of the game. I mean, not in this, in the just rules wise. So for market advancement on skills, there's routine, difficult, and what's the C, challenging?
Yeah.
How? Okay, so
here's the trick that you need to understand about difficult and challenging. When you have 4 or less in skill, you only need to do the difficult or the challenging. You don't need both. You need the routine, and then you only need either the difficult or the challenging. But once you have 5 or more skill, then you need both. So if it would say 2 difficult and 1 challenging, you'll need to do 2 difficult and 1 challenging.
So how do I know what? How do I know what's what? Like how do I know what
Oh,
is
Okay.
that's in
How
the-
many
If you
dice you
look
have?
down,
it's in
It's
the
on
book.
page.
little button
It's on page
called-
41.
And on your character sheet, there's a little button called Test Difficulty. And if you click on that, it'll tell you
Oh,
how
there it
many
is.
dice
Oh,
you're
nice.
spending
Cool.
and whether the test is routine, difficult, or challenging.
Where
many-
where's that button?
It's just above the skills section.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There
Cool.
you go.
That's really helpful.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
I love
I
that.
wasn't sure if if it did it automatically. All right. So now to mark it, do I have to pass it or just do it?
Just hit the
You have to fill it out. Unfortunately, the Roll20 character sheet is not as good as the Foundry one. So once
No.
you
I mean, like, do I have to pass the test
No,
in order to
No,
mark it
pass
down?
or fail.
very rarely, perception test must be passed and
Right.
resource test must be passed.
that's the
Okay.
exception. Otherwise, it doesn't care about whether you succeed or fail.
Okay,
That's
cool.
right.
Guys,
Yeah,
see,
by
you know,
contrast,
I'm not sure what's going on with Tim. It's like already 8, eh?
yeah. Why don't we send him a text and see what's going on with him?
Yeah. Or I can.
Okay, so just real quick. So my first that secret wise test.
Yeah.
I've got 3 dice in that, and the ob was open ended though, right? Or it was graduated.
Yeah. Right. So I think we decided that you started with 3 dice, right?
Right.
And I think the suggestion was that whatever you rolled would turn out to be the ob. So
Okay.
I guess you ended up rolling 5 altogether, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you got 5 successes.
7.
So
Oh, 6.
Um,
6.
I see 5.
Intimidation? Oh, for
No.
secret wise. Yeah.
secret
for-
wise. So 5 successes altogether is a original 3 dice on an ob of 4 or better. So that would be a challenging test.
Oh yeah.
And then
Cool.
for your intimidation
Intimidation.
check, you ended up with well, that there the ob was set. It was a 3 ob. So and you had started with 4 dice. So intimidation 4 against
Well, wait, no.
3.
It's
It's difficult.
it's the dice. Is it just my skill, or is it just with everything added to it?
It's the dice plus everything that's added except for Artha dice.
Okay.
So
But
any
here's
dice
the
you,
thing, like you
no, your skill. Go ahead.
go ahead. If
Go.
sometimes if you add more dice in, you are lowering the difficulty,
That's right.
which you may not want to do. So sometimes you want to refuse help. You
Right,
might
right.
say, dude, I need a difficult test. Get out of here.
Mhm.
You know?
Right.
But you did a routine test because you had so much help.
Right.
Was it
Okay.
a routine test? It was a.
It was
Against the
routine. If
3.
you look at intimidation,
You're right. It says it was 3. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, it was more than. Yeah, it was 5d6. So that's why it's routine. It does say it's routine. So it's a routine test. Good job.
Guys,
Routine tests are hard to get.
Tim had a disaster at home when he got home. He had a lot
Oh,
of
no.
traffic, and then there was a cat poop all over the place. The cat litter got. I don't know what happened.
Oh
So-
no.
I'm just wondering. I just asked him if he wants to pass on the night and just like because it's maybe very stressful. All of that.
It sounds
yeah,
like
it sounds perfect because I think we've done a lot of great setup work.
Yeah, I'm good to
He's
stop
not
you.
missing out.
Okay.
Yeah. I know it's a little early. We planned on 9, but I could leave too because I gotta still book check into my flight and
No,
Sure.
no way. But
Yeah.
you know what, Sanj? You can. You need to bail now. That's no problem. But I want to give Chuck his test, so I can
Yes.
stay around. I don't know.
Oh no,
Eric,
I
if
want
you
to see
can
that.
stay-
I
Okay.
aim to stay that while I check into my flight. Yeah, I want to.
Sounds perfect. Good multitasking task. Okay, so you asked me what I want to focus on here. Beliefs. Okay. Well, I think this is my chance to show that I'm the match of any man. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going down to where that dock is, and I want to do some. I want to sort of keep an eye out for tricky characters who are showing up here at the docks. I'm pretty good at observation. I don't have what's the thing where you don't get noticed by people? Inconspicuous.
Inconspicuous.
Yeah, that's what I need is inconspicuous. And it's, the idea that she could ever be inconspicuous, hard to work in. So I think what she's doing is she's going to go down dressed okay, yeah, this makes sense. So she's actually from Illick Ving. She's from the area near Illick Ving. So she's going to go down and ask a couple people loudly, demand for before the boat comes in. She's going down to the dock where this is going to take place, and she's going to be saying, "When does this boat come in? I have relatives who are expected to be on the boat." And in her sort of foreign accent is going to be demanding and boasting. Some of them are very important people, and I need to know. And so she's going to just be so she's establishing a reason why she's there. And then once she's pissed some people off with that, then she's going to stand back and wait for the boat, but be watching for the Thieves Guild, so she knows where the Thieves Guild operatives are and what they're up to.
Got it. So what this is going to be is a falsehood. And you are going to have an open falsehood here. And I'm going to say that the consequences of failure are that you are going to attract attention of the Thieves Guild.
Okay, great. Love it. Love it. Yeah, totally up for that. This is probably going to be disastrous. So
falsehood is based off of will. So you're going to get will stat.
Yeah. Well, she's at least got some decent will, I think. What is her will? Stats. Oh no, her will is terrible. It's a 3.
The good news is that you're going to get a test probably against your will, which will hopefully eventually raise your stats.
Raise it up.
This is how to raise your stats, Eric, in the game.
That's exactly right.
Is to open up skills and fail at them.
Yeah. So I mean, in other words, because the odds tend to be so high, if you're trying to learn a skill, it needs to be a routine test for it to count for learning it. Otherwise, it's going to count as for the other thing. So here we go.
Now you can help. You want to help, Eric. Now, if you do help, one of the things we haven't talked about, if you help, you suffer in the consequences of failure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
familiar with most of these principles.
Yeah. The question is whether you do want to be implicated in this. Is there a way you can help with a wise, because that'll shield you from the consequences?
How are you set? What are you trying to do?
So basically what I'm doing is I'm going in, I'm acting like I'm from Illick Ving. I'm asking people about when the boat is coming in and bragging about my well-to-do relatives who are coming in on this boat from Illick Ving. You have secret wise. What's your other wise?
Secret wise and child wise. Does it have to be a wise though? I mean, because it doesn't have to be a wise, but if it's a wise, you can help me by giving me advice before I go in, and that way you're shielded from the consequences of my failure. So this is really fascinating. How I love seeing how Torchbearer came from this game. All the different ways that it twists and turns over into.
So how about this? If you've got Childwise, maybe you can tell me something about the way. So here, I'm going to modify my story a little bit, if that's okay with you, Peter. I'm now waiting for my niece to come in, who is traveling as an unaccompanied minor, whatever the equivalent is in Lankhmar. So I'm getting some advice from Eric on how children who are unaccompanied on ships travel on ships.
You could definitely do a link test, but you know what? You probably, honestly, guys, but it's up to you. You probably want Eric there with you, because if you do get in trouble with the Thieves Guild, man, you want another sword.
I want another sword with me. Okay. All right. Point taken.
I'm just saying. Do you want the helping die or not when you get?
I want the helping die. I want the helping die. Here we go.
All right. Well, here's a thought though. I could do this too, because you're trying to pose as like a dignitary, right?
Exactly.
So what if I use my soothing platitudes and I accidentally bump into you, and then I kind of oh, I'm so sorry. I sort of kowtow myself sort of,
You act like I'm a big deal, right?
right, yeah, like please, please don't, like, don't, whatever it
Right.
is, and
I'll
just sort of
say
like
you can
pump.
fork in soothing platitudes. I think that's very reasonable.
Yeah, I like the idea that then you even turn and to the people that I'm asking questions of and say, oh, she's a foreigner, but here's what she needs, and so you're using your soothing platitudes on them as well. I think that's great.
And I
all
can
right.
do sort of like a physical, almost like a physical comedy kind of thing, where I trip, oh no, spill a drink or something, like, just something falls, and and I'm, oh please, no, please, just, I'm such a stupid, like, just sort of, abasing myself to make you seem like you really are this fancy
So this is
person.
going to be an OB3 test. The program will automatically double it. So don't put it as OB6, put it as OB3.
Okay.
And you're going to go
okay.
down to being learned. Oh, you've already done it. Great.
I just was doing it. Yeah. And I just wanted to double check. So we're right in thinking falsehood is definitely a will test rather than a perception test. I couldn't remember. So, but okay, great. So it's going to automatically double
on
it.
the dice. You're getting one helping dice, and the OB is 3.
The OB is 3. Okay. One helping die, OB 3. Do I want to spend a persona point on this? I guess we were advised maybe don't let yourself get killed. So
I
I'm
would
not
say
going to spend my
don't,
persona
because
point.
you
Yeah,
may get into combat.
I'm good at failing things even when I spend persona. And the base obstacle you said was 3. Doing it.
Yep.
And there's no additional OB, so we're ready to go to submit. Okay.
No additional OB.
There you go. That's a typical Chuck roll. Doubled obstacle.
You did get a 6, but the likelihood of you overcoming this is super low.
Yeah. All right. So failed on that. Good. I'm going to mark. So just, this is a difficult test for me. And actually, the weird thing about this is I think when he helps me when I'm trying to learn a skill, he actually needs to use his, he's not allowed to use soothing platitudes. He has to use his base attribute. So I think it's going to be a difficult test for you on will also. Not a terrible thing. Just remembering that rule. It's a weird exception to the normal rules. Marking a difficult.
So you did a difficult test, which is great. You got that pip on your will.
Love it.
Awesome. Now for stats, I do believe stats are different and that you have to get both. I could be wrong.
Well, no, it's because they always, you have to get both because there's no routine test for stats. So that's exactly right. I need to get 2 difficult and 1 challenging, and that's what it says on my sheet.
Yeah.
So
all right.
So what are the consequences of that failure?
The consequences of failure is that a member of the Thieves Guild is going to take you out. They see you as a problem. So what we need to do now, we're going to use bloody verses. I don't think this is worth doing the full fight for. So we're going to do bloody verses, and what we're going to do is, Eric,
can I ask you a quick question about that?
Yeah.
Are they going to try to take me out from ambush? In which case, I need to roll observation first, or are they going to square off against us and say, "Hey, you get out of here," and then we
squaring off against you?
Okay, great.
Yep. There's one guy.
Okay.
One guy. So, how many? We're going to do a roll, and you can take your dice. So, whatever weapon you're going to use, and you got to tell me how many you're putting into offense and how many you're putting in the defense. Now, if you score more hits than the other thief does, you achieve your goal and the fight is over.
Right.
If you score less than the thief does, the thief achieves his goal and the fight is over.
Got it. And his goal is to drive us off, and my goal is to drive him off. Is that fair enough?
If it's equal, we go another round.
Okay. What page is Bloody Verses on? Because I need to know what my shield does and shit like that.
Your shield, I have to remember about. I think that adds shield. I think only helps you in the full fight rules. I believe.
No, it definitely gives you a thing in this, but let me just look it up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's why I wanted to look it up. I'll just find it in 20 seconds here. I know Sandra's eager to get out of here. Bloody.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
I'm
I'm still doing my thing.
Bloody versus tests. Here we go. 426. All right. So we need to think about longer weapons. So I'm using a longsword, which is a ordinary weapon. What kind of weapon does the thief have?
You have a longer weapon. He's gonna have like a falchion or something.
Okay. So I've got that's plus 1 die to me. Advantages to bloody versus defend. Shield plus 1 die. Gambeson plus 1 die, which is the armor. A gambeson's like the leather armor. Is that right? That we all have?
No, a gambeson is a underpadding for leather armor, or
Oh, okay,
not for leather,
right.
but for chain.
No, you're right. I've got reinforced leather or light mail, so I've got 2. So I've got 3 advantages dice to defend, 1 advantage die to attack because of the sword, and then other things that could happen at the player's discretion. Higher reflexes. What's the thief's reflexes? Is it the same as mine, you think?
What are your reflexes?
No, I know what my reflexes are. I was asking what his reflexes are.
Probably
could be the same.
Yeah, probably 4.
Probably
I
the
guess.
same. Okay, same. We probably have the same stride, and then we can decide what forks we're using. I'm going to use my shields. I'm using my sword skill, but I'm going to fork in brawling, and so that's going to give me a fork die. Does he have a fork die also? Probably.
Yeah, I would say brawling as well.
Okay,
and he's
sure.
probably 3 with his sword too.
Okay, all right.
3
and
means
does he...
just competent, not
absolutely.
Master. 4 is where you're getting good.
Absolutely.
5 where exceptional.
So I have 3 base dice. I have 2 extra attack dice, 1 from a longer weapon, 1 from a fork, and 3 defense dice. So I'm going to apportion my 3 base dice as follows. I'm going to put 2 into attack and 1 in defense, and I now have 4 dice for attack and 4 in defense.
Okay.
And
do you need a helping die?
I would love a helping die.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
wait a minute. Let me look at my beliefs real quick. So my belief is I'm the match of any man, and I'll prove it in the dives of Lankhmar, as I did when serving the militia. So no, I do not want any help.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is cool. Fate point,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. and getting myself into trouble.
That's exactly what that is.
That's a cool way to work it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. So I've got 4 and 4.
Roll your attack dice first.
Okay. And you know what your dice are. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't rolled yet. I'll roll mine after. So roll your attack dice first.
All right. I'm just going to use the die roller, I think. Is that true?
Yeah, you can just /R D4.
/R
base D4. Or D. Sorry.
I'll just do the thingy. I know how to do this. I can do the 4d6 real quick.
I'll type it in the chat here. Yeah,
you're rolling 46. That was a terrible roll.
It was. You got 1 success on attack. Now roll your defense.
All right. 4 dice for defense. That's better. 2 successes.
2 successes.
So 1 success and 2 successes.
It's gonna roll 3 attack dice. So 3d6. And he got 2 successes.
Shit.
And he is going to roll.
So it goes to defender.
Oh, well, yeah. And he's rolling his defense. Sounds good.
You had 2 defense. So
I have 2 defense.
0 hits. He got 0
hits.
Let's roll his 3d6 for defense. Oh, 2d6 for defense. I think I said. I'm confused. So he got failures. So you won. You definitely won.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I got a success in there.
However, I will say that this made a serious commotion, a fight on the docks.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, great.
Yeah.
I think
So-
we're probably at a good stopping point because we still need to do Artha.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I'm just I will type up a description of what just happened in a minute and put it
Okay.
into the feed. The thief who, just to get a description of what this guy looked like, he tall or short?
Short. He's gonna be short, and he's going to be filthy. Kind of. He was a low level thief in rags, but he somehow had I don't know if he had the mark of the Thieves Guild because they would be secretive, but he stood out to you as being a thief just
Okay,
from
right.
the colors that he dressed in to be drab and not stand out. You could tell he's a member of
Okay.
the
Well, and maybe he said something to me when he said, "Hey, you got to get this is our territory." He said something that signaled that he was speaking on behalf of a
Fair
larger
enough.
organization.
This is our mark.
Fair enough.
All right, and just to give him an interesting feature, maybe a scar on the cheek or a weird bald spot on the side, like he had a bad injury.
Yeah, maybe
Sure.
his head was burned or something.
Yeah. Okay. Burned, bald on the right side of head.
So Sanj
Cool.
needs to go first. Let's do your Artha.
Thank you. So should I read the beliefs or we'll just jump right
Yeah.
into it? Yeah, okay. So I'm on double screen. Sometimes I can't find my cursor. Character info. Okay. Belief. The first one is I don't think happened. Magic is power, and though dangerous, I will probe my gift. Blah blah blah. Not happened. My freedom from the harem of Raja. I will never be controlled by another man. I will expand my business throughout the noble quarter. That didn't happen. The Thieves Guild are an archaic and women-hating cult. I will see it toppled. Atessa's new job sounds intriguing, but I'm sure that the Thieves Guild will have a beat on the mark as well. I will see if what Slayer can reveal about his plans. I mean, some of the Thieves Guild, the clause on the whole situation came in, but I don't think any of these things really drove the story that much for a fate point.
I still believe that you willing to go down to the docks, and you had an encounter with the Thieves Guild. I'm going to say you at least tried belief 3. So
Okay.
you'll get that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
you put the squeeze on a guy who's connected to the Thieves Guild, right? You went in and helped with that, so I think absolutely.
Oh, you did. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much. So
Now,
one
did
fate
any
point.
of your instincts get you in trouble?
No. Make a noticeable tick when dealing with slave owners or pimps. No. Stand and drool in the presence of magic. No. Always coat my knife in blackadder venom. No.
And by the way, Peter, I'm gonna make sure I'll type in the crucial information and add it to the end of session afterward. Just so we're good.
I'll write so I got a fate point for my third belief, and I'm noting it down on my character sheet.
Great.
Any of your traits get you into trouble?
Nope. They didn't really get me into trouble, but drop dead go. I think off kilter. I was kind of going for that when you came out with that disparaging remark about me being a bitch. And I was trying to be risky, like not just ignoring that by playing my character's hatred of misogyny and being off kilter and like threatening him. But I didn't roll anything, so it's up to you.
It didn't. I don't think it hurt you.
Yeah, you didn't get it.
You played it really nicely.
It didn't get you in trouble, but you definitely role played it.
Cool.
And it may be when we come now, we're gonna once we go through that, Eric, We're
Mhm.
gonna then talk about the role playing, because you get two sets of Arth
Right.
and Fate. One is for your bits, and the second one is for various role playing will happen.
Right.
So that was Sanj. What we do is, though, we go through all the bits for everybody, and once that is completed, then we go into the other
Nice.
Arth awards.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. I like that.
So let's do Chuck next, because that'll
Sure.
give you more people going to give you some idea when it's your turn.
Sure. So let's see. Frida played into her belief that she's the match of any man, and attempted to prove it by driving away that thief.
Totally.
I think you get a fate and a persona for that.
Oh,
Nice.
You definitely
Yeah.
rocked on that. You walked down there and you were ready to throw down.
Nice.
yeah,
Wow.
at some risk. Yeah,
A very dangerous move.
yeah, that was kind of dumb, but I'm playing it up. So the second belief about toppling the towers of the mighty and becoming Stormbringer, not happening. But she's going to work toward that. And she did not have a chance to put moves on the princeling. I don't think she had a chance to not trust a grinning man, so that didn't come up. She certainly drew her sword at the first sign of danger, so her second instinct actually helped her. And she was boasting.
It did get you. It didn't get you into trouble, because you got into trouble before you did that.
Yeah, I got out of trouble with it. But I was boasting. So I certainly was boasting. I played up my boasting.
I'm going to give you a fate for
trait.
that. I'm buying that. You definitely got into trouble.
Yeah.
That was boasting and ballsy to do that.
Okay, good.
Rolled with
All right.
falsehood with no falsehood skill.
That's still an awful.
You're going to get good at it, though.
Yeah,
You're
I'm going to learn.
that skill.
Yeah. All right. And Nico.
Yeah. Let's see. I think maybe my belief number 2. I'll reach any quarry, any tower through any defense. I was sort of working towards that, trying to find out where the ship was going to be docked, and what type of trouble would be around it.
Yep.
My fear is I'm gonna give you a fate for this, because I know that you're new in the game, but that belief is so vague.
Yeah. Yep.
That's why we were trying to have you narrow it down. If I were a real stickler, I would not give you for it, because you didn't
Right.
any tower. How can I make that specific? And that's why you need to make your beliefs actionable.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, I'm even okay with not taking the point, just because I don't.
No, it's okay, dude. You're new at the game, and Artha is important. You got to get Artha. It's so important.
Yeah, no
because it will eventually, you'll have a goal that's so important to you. Maybe you want to earn a deed point that you don't want to fail on it, and that's where you throw massive amounts of Artha at it.
Yep.
That's how the game rewards you, how you get things done. So I'm going to give you a fate, but definitely shore up those beliefs. Get them tighter.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to work on it. So I put one fate up at the top, and then in the belief section here, the FP and D.
It's kind of a crazy thing. You don't have to do it. They expect you to take notes and add it all in there and then sum it up and put it in the top. I never do that there. I just write it right in the top.
Okay.
I think it's partly, it's part. I think the point there is that you're keeping track of, I've had this belief for so long, and that I've accumulated all this persona and fate on it, and that's why this is worthy of a deed. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, that's what it's there for.
Point.
Okay. Let's see. My instincts didn't really come up. Rules wise or fiction wise.
I don't know. I think you went up with Chuck, and you were there in that precarious situation on the dock. So I think you might argue that you did always stand between the danger and the door, because that's more of a figurative type thing, right? So you were up there to help Chuck, knowing that he could get into a fight.
That's
Right,
That's
but
legit.
it's also interesting though because I kind of forgot that one of my traits is cowardly.
Yeah.
And it means, it's like I'm not willingly going to put myself at bodily risk. So I think, like, when the shit did go down, I was like out of there. I was
You
like,
know
sure,
what, though?
I'll,
That's
Oh, that's
okay.
cool.
I'll help with the setup here, but then like, oh, okay, I'm not. This is not my
Yeah,
scene.
that's
But
cool.
but you didn't do that. So
Right.
let me tell you how you can lose or gain traits. So eventually, after a number of sessions, maybe 6 sessions or something like that, we're gonna have what's called a trait vote. And the the players are gonna say, hey, you're not cowardly. Take that off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Remove that trait. You're not cowardly. And they may
But I
add
shouldn't
other
be playing to
traits.
them though, right? I mean, I should be playing to them.
If you do, then we won't take it off. That's right.
If
Right.
you yeah, exactly. Like you can just ignore it and then we vote it off, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no penalty for ignoring it. Play your character how you want to play. If
That's
you
right.
do play towards the cowardly trait, you'll
You'll be
get
rewarded
it,
for
and
it.
sometimes it can increase, right? Or you can lose it because you just don't want to play a cowardly character. That's okay.
So what if I had like decided I'm bolting, I'm not going to be around for this fight, and then I stumbled into a patrol, or like could that be considered a trait getting me in trouble because
Or
I
I
kind of
think it actually, if I had wanted your help and you'd said, no, I don't want to get hurt in this fight, that would be hurting me. And I
Yeah.
think that would count for it.
Right,
that's
Because you'd be
that's
doing,
100%.
yeah. And it was
Role
actually,
playing.
yeah.
That's role playing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay.
Let's get. I want to get through the other ones if you don't mind.
Okay,
Oh
great.
yeah, sir. Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
so now, embodiment. Did someone really embody their character? So you guys know all your characters' beliefs and traits. Did someone role play their character so well that you felt that they were their character? And if so, who was that?
I loved Vina's seduction. I love the way that she turned on this guy who's being described as really kind of gross, and she kind of, despite that, she was able to pretend to be attracted to him, and then when he responded in this way that was that insulted her, she swallowed that ugliness and reacted in a way that kept it possible for her to still seduce him. That tells us a lot about who she is and how much she's learned to hide her own feelings in order to get in order to play up people.
Yeah, and
Dan,
Hassan
who do you
embodied
think
that.
embodied their character?
Pardon?
Sanj, who do you think embodied their character?
I think like in the role play, I think you did a good job, Peter. But
let's give it to the GM. I agree.
Yeah.
There are games that are like that.
Yeah.
I think definitely. Well, you know what? All of us, like, I find the stepping up into the, like what Chuck did with stepping out and proclaiming very proudly about, that whole thing was amazing.
This is my fight.
I thought,
You know what?
yeah.
That was
I
cool.
do agree with you, Sanch. I'm gonna do something special here. I think everybody did kind of embody their character, so I'm gonna give you all an award for embodiment. But that will not happen possibly again.
I shouldn't get this.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, what is that, Fate?
So that means that
No,
you
it's
get a
Persona.
Oh, right, yeah.
Ooh, big time. Nice.
So now we have MVP. Who was the MVP? Who drove the story forward?
I don't think that's a session by session thing, it's up to you, but I don't we all had our kind of moments, and the spotlight was shared, and I
don't think it was this wasn't a big enough session really for that, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, in the final we'll kind of have that moment, right? Like
or when we have a longer session. If we have like a 4-hour session, I think we'll
Right.
know
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
You
because I think we
feel
each
that
got
way
about equal
for
time.
Workhorse as well.
Pardon?
Yeah, I think he's
You
saying
feel that way
workhorse
for
and the other one.
Workhorse?
Hmm.
Workhorse is someone who really made things be accomplished. Like someone was there to have an important role in the story, save the day kind of thing. Well, not save the day, that's MVP, but Workhorse would be that they are driving
Looking behind the
story
scenes,
forward.
doing all the little things.
Right.
And not this session, no.
Yeah, I think typically we would probably look to Eric for MVP because of that amazing role that established so much about that bad guy and really pushed that forward.
I think he does
Actually, that's a good
deserve
point.
MVP for that. That was
Yeah.
an incredible role.
That's a huge role.
Yeah.
So give
so
yourself an extra persona for that.
Okay.
Maybe Peter, what we should be doing is just giving one person embodiment, and that way we're not sort of throwing out too much of it, because I think it makes more sense to honor Eric for his MVP. He was really extraordinary on that.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I don't think I don't want to just take a persona point for the embodiment, because I did not, I didn't fully get into it. So yeah.
Okay.
Cool, man.
Cool,
Thank
guys.
you.
Hey, I had a blast. I thought it was a good session. I just want to check with you guys. I did record it. Are you guys okay with me posting this on YouTube?
Yep.
Chuck, are you good?
Yes.
Oh,
my
yeah.
approval was given.
Okay,
Yep,
awesome.
I thought
just wanted to
Peter,
get
you were a great GM, man. The training that you were giving, your rules lore, you can tell that you are a stalwart forum reader, and you know how to play the game really well, and I'm super excited. So
I love
thank
the
God.
game,
And
and I
Chuck,
love Lankhmar. That's how we met. We all talked
I know.
bonded about Lankhmar. This is perfect.
And Chuck, you're as the lore master and keeping the notes, and also forcing us to maintain the descriptive element of building the world. That was really, in fact,
you also insisted on that, and that was great. I love that.
I would nominate or just even, like, I know it's not fair, but like another persona point just for doing that work. That's workhorse to me.
In that case, I insist that I will take workhorse because I take some notes and I did that, and I want you to have sole credit for embodiment because you did such a nice job with that sexy seduction scene.
Perfect.
And I want to
thank you.
All right, good. That way we all got a persona point, but we all got them honestly.
Yeah,
perfect.
There.
Awesome,
I'm gonna when you put persona points on different, when you get one and you put it next to a belief, I'm going to put that persona point that I got for the embodiment of being sexy and all, and the dealing with men, in my belief about my slavery, and I will not.
That makes sense.
I think that makes a lot of sense. It's certainly relevant to who she is.
Now, are we gonna play next Saturday?
I'd like to play again as soon as possible, and I don't care about when it is, but Saturday is a possibility. Weekdays are also possible, but I think there were a lot of other people that issues.
Next Saturday might not be good for me.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see if we can do midday Saturday or early Saturday. Eric, are you available then?
I am.
I'm gonna have to get back to you.
Nights are tough because of the, why.
I agree. I would far prefer to play during the day on a weekend if we can make that work. So
I'm good with Saturday.
Here's another thing: if
daytime next week, okay.
If we do play during the day on Saturday, it's possible that I could keep running it when I'm in Argentina because it's only an hour ahead.
Right.
So I might be able to do it.
Great.
Oh my God.
I'll be nice and warm. I'll have a drink next to me.
And there will, and when you turn off your starry background, we'll see the cows walking past and the gauchos.
No, Buenos Aires is
it's a big city. I know.
It's
I gotta go, guys. Later.
Bye.
Thank you so
Take
much.
care,
I love
Take
being
it
a
easy,
player.
guys.
See you,
You know,
Sanj.
I love being a player. Forever GM, finally getting
Yeah.
to play.